This works. Hello and welcome to Eric's TV RPG, a show that was named by you, the fans. It's always my intro. So today is a big day because we have some fun guests. Social's been blowing up about it, so it's not going to be a huge reveal when they pop in, but they will be here. And we've got a big setup for everybody today. It's going to be a lot of fun. Before I cut into our announcements for the day, I'm going to let everybody know that I have recovered from strep throat this week. And so I am sitting back here with a bottle of NyQuil and a Red Bull, which I'm sure is going to lead to some kind of
or at least hallucination.
I will do my best to chug through this game that I've been planning for over a month with Matt and Darren. We've been trying to set this up because, as you know, very busy people, Matt and Darren. So it's been great, and so we'll get to that in a second. The other thing we have going on right now is the A26LA. Yay, we are doing donations for A26LA. We are encouraging people to donate if you can. We're doing our big 25-hour live stream starting tonight, or as Ryan Green likes to say, later today, since he doesn't get to leave for something like 52 hours or something ridiculous like that. We encourage everybody to donate this show because the way we're running it right now, we're not doing anything particularly special just yet. We'll be having our game tomorrow, which will be a continuation. This, hopefully, if everything works out, because sometimes the players throw you curveballs. This will be a two-part game, and then part 2 will be tomorrow, and we will also have our guest stars back for part 2 tomorrow. So stay tuned for tomorrow if you guys are planning on donating, because we are probably going to try to do something a little weird for that. Sax and I have this crazy idea we're going to try to pitch to some of our players, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. So let's see. Is there anything else I need to mention before we start doing a recap? Does anybody have any announcements? Nobody?
I'm very excited.
So today it's important to take a moment to announce that Sam is very excited. And I think that's it, right? So we can just go ahead and just launch into the recap. Okay, let's cross our fingers I do not lose my voice in the middle of this damn stream. Gonna just do this. Okay, it's like I'm shaving or something. Okay, so here we go. A verbal recap of Doctor Who is always challenging alone because it sounds like someone cut pieces out of a comic book from spanning different eras over 30 years, wadded them together, and then lathered a wall with glue and threw them against the wall. It makes that much sense. So rather than do a full recap, we're going to just do a recap of last game, where you guys had finally infiltrated the TG base in London. You had resolved some things with the Ovakali, who were in the base, which was a big shocking moment for Sam, who thought at that point that they were the last of their kind, only to discover that the Time Lords of this weird alternate reality that y'all are stuck in, Doctor, they have become something different than the Gallifreyans of your home universe. Yeah. They are a little more barbaric, a little more bloodthirsty, and maybe even a little more dangerous than the Time Lords of your original reality. Nothing like you're used to. You also discovered that this reality is infected with paradox, that these tears in space-time are constantly reweaving reality in an effort to heal itself. It's essentially the evidence that the Doctor uncovered that the universe is in a state of death. The universe is dying right now. And the running theory is it might have been because of what happened in your universe, Doctor, where you froze Gallifrey in a moment of time. For those who are just tuning in for the first time, that was kind of the start of this game. Seemed like a good idea at the time.
That might
the
be a good
50th
idea.
anniversary special, as some of y'all might remember, the Doctor and all the Doctors froze Gallifrey in a single moment of time in order to save Gallifrey. That, in this game, that had some bizarre consequences, using multiple TARDISes to freeze an entire planet in a single moment in time. Yeah. So you are now in this alternate reality where you are constantly running into these rips in space-time, and you have uncovered that these rips and the energies that are permeating from these rips are causing paradox, which is causing the universe to constantly contradict itself. The best way to describe it would be like watching someone whose memory is failing, trying to remember who they are. As this universe is trying constantly to reinvent and rationalize and make the connections so that it can keep moving forward. This has resulted in some pretty heartbreaking realizations and moments, particularly where Duncan, your character, Cillian Rail, who is the cousin of one Mickey that we all know from the Doctor Who series, who you were able to reconnect with after years of separation and heartbreak in this reality, turned out to be the family figure you always needed in your life. You two had a touching moment where you reconciled just before you were robbed of his existence entirely when the universe corrected itself. And nobody remembers that Mickey ever existed.
Just me
except
and the
you and the Doctor, because neither one of you are from this reality. So that was a drag.
I'm
that, of course,
too real for this reality, Eric.
yeah, it's not. It has not been fun, especially because you have all realized that it puts everybody else from this reality in danger, including young little David, the baby of the human hybrid Doctor and Rose Tyler in this universe. So there's a lot at stake.
I like how every recap you're like, also the baby might die.
Well, I like to raise the stakes.
Don't
honestly,
forget that,
I'm going to
guys.
tell you, honestly, what it keeps inspiring me to say that is because I'm addicted to watching Amy go. Like watching her like, oh God, no.
Like some week I'm just going to be like, the baby.
I'm a sadistic, I'm like a sadistic, yeah, you're like, babies, whatever.
My babies.
the only benefit of having your voice do like this is if I try, I might be able to go, I don't know how it sounds, but I'm like, oh, I almost sound like Steve Blum. I could like almost pull off Spike Spiegel if I wanted to. I can't. Little non sequitur.
Weird
All right, moving back
crossover.
into the game. So where we last left off is you guys had finally managed to track down the message left by this universe's Doctor, who you know is dead, but you don't know how the Doctor of this universe died. No one does. You managed to pull the data you needed out of the Temporal Guard's database. Getting into the TARDIS, you went to the location and found yourself on a planet that no one had ever been to before. That was not documented in any star chart in Gallifreyan and your Gallifreyan database. And what you discovered was the TARDIS was waiting for you there, another TARDIS of this universe, and it was dying. It had been lingering in this place for at least 1,000 years, which isn't unusual considering the time jumping you always did. Upon entering the TARDIS, you realized it was basically number 10's TARDIS. It was the 10th Doctor's TARDIS of this universe. And what you discovered was the message that was left behind. This Doctor had actually discovered what was happening. He was the one that revealed to you that the universe was dying from paradox, that he was doing everything he could to stop it, that he was this universe's caretaker and he had failed, and that the Temporal Guard were onto him and they were trying to stop him. He didn't give a lot of detail, but he asked whoever discovered this message to stop it from happening, and he gave coordinates. There are 3 extraordinarily large tears in space-time that whoever or whatever is harnessing the power of paradox for whatever reason, because that I should say, that was the other reveal. You guys discovered that somebody or something out there is using paradox to basically rewrite the universe. Maybe they know that it's killing the universe, or maybe they're unaware, but whoever or whatever is doing it is using these rips in space-time to pull energy of paradox to rewrite things as they see fit, or as it sees fit. So the goal here is to close the last 3 massive remaining rips in space-time. And 3 coordinates were given. They were the last 3 big tears. When we last left off, then, as you guys had gone back into your TARDIS, the other TARDIS you watched fade from existence. There is a TARDIS graveyard, believe it or not, as the old girl basically faded from existence to her final resting place. And I think somebody laid a small memorial there. If I remember correctly, someone laid something
Finn.
down. Yeah, Finn. Gina's like, yes, I did. Absolutely. I erected a cross. It was right there. Moving
I
on.
did. It was a stone, thank you.
It's a stone, yes. Sorry, I got distracted. Anytime I think of somebody erecting a cross at a grave, I go straight to Logan.
Spoilers.
No, that's not a spoiler. Whose
What?
grave?
Okay, fair, fair.
Anyway. So
This is
now
ominous
we
sound
are-
now.
So you guys have stepped back into the TARDIS, and you had gone to the first location. So you guys are moving to the first set of coordinates. What? You got something to say?
That was me doing the.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Yep. You powered up the TARDIS. Coordinates got entered. And as you guys are starting to enter the time vortex, and you feel the TARDIS kind of lurch as it does when it starts to take off into like a rather bumpy ride as you guys are launching into the time vortex, you hear from down below in the TARDIS, coming up on one of the stairways, you hear Bargle going, "Doctor, doctor, doctor, doctor."
Oh, yes, Bill,
doctor."
what is it? What is it?
Bargle comes running up and goes, "Sorry, give me 1 sec." Okay.
Is everything all right, Bill?
No, it's not all right. He's awake. He woke up. He's
Oh.
awake. He's not very happy. He threatened to kill me in the glory of the Centauran Empire.
Oh, right.
He was going to destroy me. Said something about filing me away in the archives of the holy blah blah. I don't know what he's saying.
Right then, we have a guest, some of you have not met yet, who had been sort of slumbering peacefully.
Can
Fellow
you put him back to
librarian.
sleep?
Well, it fell asleep kind of by accident, actually. And at about that point, you hear like a thunderous smashing noise from down below, like someone slamming open doors. And it takes all but a few seconds before you hear the familiar stomps of heavy Centauran feet as...
This hallway has been claimed for the glory of the Centauran Empire! Sontaha! Sontaha! Sontaha!
Yeah.
Good evening, individuals. I do not recognize you, but I will call you prisoners of the Centauran Empire.
Velig, we've been over this. You have not captured us. You are on board the TARDIS as my guest.
Indeed. A prisoner would say that, wouldn't they?
You actually have met one of these before. You remember our friend Roko Kokoko?
Why, hello. It's been quite a while.
They look a bit different.
Greetings, prisoner.
Yeah.
I'd really rather you not call me that. It's Rococococo.
Indeed. Rocococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococococo Well done indeed. Although I do enjoy it. Go.
It's a good name.
It sounds like a gun destroying my enemies and laying them low.
It doesn't.
Go.
Now, he doesn't have any weapons, does he?
Yes, I do.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Did I not take his gun?
His gun was removed from his room when you all put him in there. And yet, here he stands with a massive plasmic battle rifle from the Centauran army mounted up onto his shoulder like a Marine with swagger, just standing there. He's got his finger is like tapping the trigger, kind of like it's missing that feel, that squeeze. So Finn, you're familiar with Centaurans, and your 11 years of jumping galaxies with Roko, you've encountered Centaurans before. They seem humorous at first until you see what they do to things, and then they kind of loses the fun, especially when you're on the receiving end of it. You're familiar with the gun that this particular Centauran is holding. This thing could probably destroy a truck.
Yep.
This thing can probably destroy a large truck.
my arm.
Yeah.
So your pet potato gets a gun and we don't.
I would rather you not call me potato prisoner of the Centauran Empire.
We would rather you didn't call us prisoners of the Centauran Empire. And
and-
Velig, by the way, you remember me? I'm Cillian. You remember I'm the reason you escaped?
Oh,
and you'd be dead without
yes,
us.
I do not remember you.
Point of note, Bargle raises his hand, the blue Scottish-sounding alien says, if it'll help and if it means I don't die, I'll be a prisoner. I don't mind. It's kind of what I've done in the past. If that's all right.
Well done. You're a brave soul.
Yeah, thanks
have
a
you
lot,
forgotten?
Bill.
I'm just trying to, smooth things out a bit.
For him, maybe?
Oh, well, he's got a gun. What you want me to?
Well, first off,
should
about
we
that
do?
gun,
Indeed.
I'm going to need you to put it down.
All right. You're a bad gun. Ha ha ha! I have created humor. Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha!
That's quite a good joke, but you will actually have to also set it down somewhere where you can't touch it. Veleg, have you forgotten how we met and how you came to be here?
No.
You are Veleg's third librarian,
Fourth keeper of the holy relics
fourth
of the
keeper of the Holy
Empire.
Records of the Sondaran Empire.
You.
And we only survived because we all helped each other.
And yet you are the Doctor, the enemy of the Sontaran Empire.
Well, do you wonder how you got to be here then?
Oh dear. I had a chance to destroy an enemy of the Sontaran Empire and I failed.
You made a wiser choice for long-term good.
Sontarans do not make wise choices for the longest good.
You are unique, Sontaran. No.
How can I be unique?
You made a wise choice. I'm just saying.
My clone batch would not accept this.
Oh, what?
Doctor, do you need me to do something right now? I'm feeling a bit uncomfortable.
Also uncomfortable.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. I should just stand in front of him. You need to calm down and just take a second and just maybe jog your memory, or I'll jog it for you.
Very well. I agree to do this. My memory is beginning to be jogged.
In the meantime, I'll need you to set down your gun.
Very well. I agree to do this.
Would you like me to watch it?
She may not watch it.
You just heft that big
Doctor, can I watch
cannon
it?
off your shoulders. You can all feel the plates of the TARDIS rattle as this cannon he hefts off of his shoulders, just slams down onto the grating.
Wonderful. Progress.
It
I
feels.
pick it up.
It basically feels like somebody
Can
just
you
dropped
even
a
lift it?
motorcycle
Yes.
next to you.
Yeah, can
Yes,
you?
I
Oh
can.
yeah,
that
robot arm.
As you pick this thing up, your arm basically registers that this is like you as a person. If you didn't have this arm, you wouldn't probably be able
Yeah.
to lift the rifle the way you are. But you are impressed to watch what looks like a human female just heft it up.
Impressive.
Yeah, it is.
You are no longer a prisoner. I consider you quite interesting. What is your designation, interesting one?
Name's Finn.
Finn.
That's it. I don't have any sound that sounds like a gun.
A lovely name.
At
Not
that,
as much fun as Rococo.
Well done.
Is he trying to flirt with me?
you go into
He
the
might be
beatbox
trying to
bit.
flirt with me.
This is
I'm
odd.
still uncomfortable.
At that particular moment, you all feel the TARDIS,
Go!
that thudding noise as it arrives at its destination.
Right. Well, a great deal has happened since you were injured. I'm very glad to see you're all right. Would you consider joining our party to try to help achieve our goals?
Would this further the goals of the Sontaran Empire and bring me back in their graces?
It would keep them from ceasing to exist.
I will join you!
It's a good point.
And well
Excellent.
put.
Let's find out where we've landed, shall we?
Might help.
What are you doing?
Do I always have to open the door to find out what's outside, or can I just...
It's exciting that way.
Yeah.
Or you could,
Would you like me to scout ahead for you?
Yes.
you could look at the computer monitors if you want to throw the door open and
No,
see where
we're
you're at.
just... Let's take a look, shall we?
Excellent. As you throw the doors open, Doctor, you just kind of stride forward and you're like, let's do this. And you just throw the door open. I mean, it's another one of those moments that's an overload to the senses because what you see is kind of shocking at first. The first thing you see is an ood. A very large, very bizarre, very intimidating looking ood. This ood probably stands close to 7 feet tall and has wide shoulders. It's dressed in a bizarre sort of, it looks like the black suits that the ood wear. It is holding its orb, except it's not an orb, it's actually a cube, which is bizarre as hell. The cube looks kind of edged, like it's been chipped. Maybe it's been cut from something. It looks very ragged, sort of just I want to say almost. It's not smooth and it doesn't look like a smooth, articulate piece of technology. It looks like just like a butchered cube that's like just weird enough where it does not match what an ood would be holding. First of all,
I never traveled with Donna in this world.
not to mention that this ood, again, 7 feet tall and built like a brick house. This thing is massive, completely contradicting all the physiology of the ood. And it is standing just in front of the doors of the TARDIS. Behind this ood, there you see two more. You see a vast starscape in front of you, with rocky mountains and plains and whatnot. But you see what looks like big gray, like jutting teeth coming up out of the surface. What looks like a gray, barren, rocky world with sporic like holes filled throughout. Your first guess, just upon sight of it, Doctor, being that you're so, well traveled in the universe, is that this looks like it might be the surface of either a moon or an asteroid. Mm-hmm. And not too far back from the ood it looks like a small group of men and a woman, all huddled down with weapons, aiming in the sort of direction of the TARDIS. Behind them, sort of off to the right, is what looks like a ship that is angled incorrectly. It looks almost like those hammerhead ships you saw in Star Wars Rogue One, except for it's not vertical. It's horizontal. So it's kind of got like this beam coming out to the front, but it's small enough where it looks like it probably these are people, they traveled here in this ship. It looks like it's kind of wedged into a rock face, like maybe this thing slammed into a rock face and skidded to a halt, and it's about 100 feet away. Whoever these people are, they look like they probably saw the TARDIS arrived and immediately went into like siege mode. And their point person is this massive ood that's standing at your door. Looks like it was getting ready to knock. And this is our cue for our next guest.
Hello!
So yes, this thing materialized. You were ordered to run up to the door and breach it if necessary, as everyone went on full alert. And as you're about to punch it in, the door flew open and a woman standing there looking at you with wide eyes. And everyone freezes.
Hello. How delightfully unexpected.
And the same to you. Hello, I'm the doctor.
The doctor? Doctor?
Just
Who?
the doctor.
I had to do it with once.
Right, yes. I'm the doctor. These are my companions. Are you all right?
The large, massive ood turns and looks back. Adric, shall I continue with the pummeling?
There's a man that stands up with a rifle. Doctor, why don't you go ahead and make a... this would be an ingenuity knowledge roll.
Yes. 9 and 6, 15.
What'd you get?
9, 24.
24. Of course you did. 24. Okay.
Doctor stats.
Your guess is this is probably late in human history. Everyone behind this ood is human. Mm-hmm. They look like a really strange ragtag bunch. The weapons they're holding are not very state-of-the-art, but they do indicate that this is probably...
I've met sort of late-stage humanity before. This doesn't seem the same, does it?
This is late period humanity. This is just probably after humanity became starfaring. Mm-hmm. So thousands of years into the future for Earth. But the one he calls Adric comes out of a kneeling position and goes, "Oh, I think you can hold off there, meat stick. I think
Meat stick?
I think these might not be who we thought they were."
Very well. And the ood slowly steps away and just takes a position in the back, staring at you all with a creepy, slightly edged eyes and the dangling tendrils from the mouth.
Real quick, I'll tell you guys too, because y'all have had encounters with the ood. You've never in your life seen or heard of an ood that looks like this. Something is completely different about this creature. This thing looks like it ate 3 ood.
Oh my.
What an odd ood.
What an odd lunch.
Apparently his name is Meat Stick.
I don't like Adric very much.
The Ardric says, yeah, you can come out of there if you want. Your little blue box there.
Out of curiosity, who were you expecting?
Well, we don't really know who to expect out here, but certainly not someone who looks, you know.
I get that a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure. The woman in the back stands up and she holsters her gun and she says, me too, darling, me too. She clips it on. Audric says, no offense. Just don't know who you're going to find out these ways, you know? Hope Meatstick there didn't scare you.
Right, so...
Is that his real name?
Meatstick was the name I was designated.
That seems pretty messed up to
Many
me,
different
Doctor.
cultures have different ways of naming things, and we should accept that. Hello, I'm Rococo. It's lovely to meet you.
It is a pleasure.
I think Finn might be more on my side of things here. These people seem a bit dodgy to me.
Shall I destroy them?
When you
no,
say
perhaps
that,
not.
all of a sudden you see everyone's face light up in recognition of a Centauran stepping out of the doorway, and the weapons come back up immediately.
My weapon comes back up as well.
What weapon? I'm holding a weapon.
My weapon goes back down.
No, right. No one means anyone any harm, as far as I can tell.
You're traveling with a Centauran. How are you all still alive?
He's a librarian.
Oh, a what?
Don't worry. Oh, wait. Did you say a what? What has happened to humanity?
No. Look, I know what a library is.
Oh, right.
I've never heard the word library and Centauran in the same sentence.
Fair.
He's the fourth keeper of the ancient relics of the Centauran Empire.
One of the people in the back goes, that sounds a little bit more accurate to me. I mean, it sounds strange, doesn't it? And they all just kind of confer with each other. Adric says, all right, tell you what. Who are you? What are you doing here?
No one knows who they were, or...
A race of druids.
Right, I'm the Doctor. This is Finn. This is Rococo. This is Cillian. And this is Lisa.
Lisa, something like that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, right.
You've already met Velig, third librarian.
Third librarian Velig.
Have you got any sort of enormous rip in space-time?
And would you like one?
No. Quite the opposite. We're
Oh,
going
I
to fix
see.
it if
I
we
will not
can.
provide such. Turn your eyes away from me, shorty. Oh, dear. Why you got to be so ooed? Don't you know they're human too? Why you got to be so ooed?
Darren,
I'm
please,
going to marry my gun.
please,
If you got that library.
Anyway.
Did you
Please
break
gain-
the Centauran?
Darren, please
Hello.
gain a story point right now. Actually, before we continue, where is everybody at with their story points? Because we do need to regenerate some of those.
That is a great question.
7?
6. 8
Okay.
because everyone spent their story points on me last time
Yeah.
instead of me spending any.
Yeah, because everyone was paranoid you were the master, and
We still don't know if
we
we're
still
wrong.
don't know if she's the master or not. What are you at, Amy?
4.
Go ahead and give yourself to 6.
All right.
So we'll level you guys off at 6. Remember, you can gain story points through crazy moments or by role-playing your flaws or anything like that. And feel free to remind me if you're doing something like insatiable curiosity or acting out of anger when you're not supposed to be, stuff like that. If you're triggering one of your bad traits, and that's how you feed yourself story points. If you're going to do something stupid to rescue somebody else's life, I'll probably give you a story point.
Please don't, Finn.
Okay, Adric goes, all right, well, like Meatstick said, I'm Adric, and like I said, that's Meatstick.
Hello.
This
Pleasure to
is...
meet all of you.
You as well.
I apologize for my earlier outburst. Or outburst. Although I'm a Centauran and we do outburst. Ha ha! Ha ha! It was humor.
I found it rather humorous. Thank you.
Well done. I think we will be good friends.
See, aren't you glad you came?
The fan art.
Very much, actually. I'm enjoying myself. Should I shoot and kill something?
No, let's
Very
not.
well. I will not.
Sorry, I was just picturing the fan art. I was picturing like a Bran and Hodor situation where it was like a Centauran on the back of the Ood and they're just like traveling the galaxy together as friends.
That is what I picture every day.
He says, this here's Brennick. Over here, your companion in sexes, so to speak, is Ava. This is Zeeps. And you see this young boy kind of step forward. He doesn't have a gun on him. He just says, hi. And behind him is Drep.
And the other two Ood?
No, everyone here is human.
Oh, I thought you said there were three of them. My bad.
What's that? I'm sorry?
I thought you said there were two Ood behind him, but I may have
Oh,
made
no,
that
no,
up.
sorry. No, just two humans. Yeah.
Excellent.
Everybody else is human.
I walk up to Zeeps.
Zeeps, okay. The young man.
Indeed.
He stands about as tall as you.
I know. I can sense a warrior when I see one. You must make this group very proud, Zeeps.
He looks at Adric for like, kind of like Garth looking at Wayne. Like, what do I say? and just goes, I think I do. Yeah.
Sontaha.
Sontaha.
Yes.
Can you give me the names again, Eric?
No, sorry.
Adric, Zeeps, Ava,
Brennick.
Drep.
Drip.
And
Brennick.
Brennick, yes.
Thank you.
It starts to occur to you all at this point, too, that you are standing on the surface of an asteroid. And this has become more apparent because on the surface of this asteroid, you're beginning to watch the star field over your head begin to change a little quicker than it would if you were standing on, say, the surface of a moon or a planet. The other thing is it's not quite the same, like, sunrise, sunset over the horizon. It looks like it kind of spins a little bit, like this is an asteroid that's turning in space. And you're actually watching some of the shadows grow longer and shrink back from the mountains that are surrounding you. And indeed, their ship looks like they probably tried to land, but this terrain didn't work out too well for them. And at that point, Adric says, now to answer your question, rips in space-time. Is
No,
what does
not
that
ringing a
look
bell.
like? What's
It
that?
looks like a weather phenomenon. Like
Well,
shiny
we don't get a lot of
things.
rain out here. Nothing shiny. We were about to head into the mine.
The mine.
Is this a mining planet then?
Adric kind of leans back for a moment and kind of regards all of you and says, where are you from exactly?
We were a bit lost. We're from quite far away.
I believe that. And that is your ship. Pointing at the TARDIS.
More or less, yeah.
All right. Well,
Block.
the door goes. He says, all right, tell you what. We mine this asteroid. At least we're the last ones to mine this asteroid. This whole asteroid belt used to be a mining camp, so to speak. It's been
Used to be?
abandoned. It's been abandoned for a while now. They kind of ran out of resources, that kind of thing.
Well, why are you here?
Well, the minerals down there aren't exactly rare, but if it's an easy buck and no one's claimed it, why not? It's the best way to make money without, he pats his gun, having to hurt anybody.
Right.
So you're freelancers then?
Something like that, yeah.
And where did you find your friend?
Which, as you point towards, you notice that the Ood is now kind of slowly walked, strangely quietly, behind a lot of you in almost a sort of flanking position and just kind of leans in. I'm here to assure that their team and their mission stays sound in one piece, as is the decree of Master Adric.
He's pretty good at his job, I'll tell you that.
Master Adric.
Are you a slave?
I am but a servant to my master.
Sounds like a slave to me.
The head slowly
Adric looks at you and gives you... yeah, and off of the Ood's look, Adric just looks at you and goes, whatever you want to call it.
Where did you find this one?
Oh, that's a long story, love. That's...
We love stories.
Oh, maybe for another time, though. Right now, we're kind of on the clock. We're down here to get some of the
Adric.
minerals and get out of here. Yeah?
The name's Finn. If
Finn.
you call me love one more time, I'll punch you in the face.
All right. Looks down at your arm and goes, I don't see that being a very pleasant experience.
I think he's flirting with you, Finn. I do not approve.
You know what? Neither do I.
Don't worry. I know my place when it comes to this. Well, let me put it this way. I know a gunslinger when I see one.
So you said you're on a
I'm
clock.
technically still holding a giant bazooka.
You're holding this massive Centaurian cannon on your shoulder.
It looks quite lovely.
Despite all of what's going on, Cillian, once again, you're in a conversation of a bunch of people who are, you, once again, as an earthling, an electrician from Essex,
Completely out of my depth.
are marveling at the fact that you're standing on the surface of a freaking asteroid.
Right, I haven't taken you to the future yet, have I? Very
Occasionally,
sorry.
as the star field over your head changes, you catch glimpses of the deep blues and purples of a distant nebula, and a star that's lodged somewhere deep inside. It's pulsing, almost like the heart of the universe itself is just an arm's reach away. It's stuff that you've seen in books and in CGI movies and stuff like that, but there it is. And then it just spins a little out of sight, and you see constellations, bright as they can be. I mean, it's you're looking straight into the universe at this point. You've seen some stuff, as I always say in every episode with you. Yeah, Cillian, you've seen some shit, but this is pretty amazing.
So, Adric, where are we? Where is this? Where are we in?
I shall turn to the storyteller notes.
Ah,
This is, well, it used to be called the Govan Mining Camp. It used to be a penal colony.
this was a penal colony.
Yeah, a long time ago. There's not a lot of places to run, if you know what I mean. They used to have defensive countermeasures all over the place. Makes it difficult to navigate through the asteroid field. And then, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago, they all just sort of abandoned the place. There's like 30 or 40 mining camps all across the asteroid belt.
Run by whom?
Honestly, don't know.
It
Really
seems
don't.
like such a waste, such an awful thing to do. I mean, why come all the way up here just to set up a penal colony?
I don't know. I spend most of my life trying not to end up in a place like this.
Yeah, me too, mate.
Me too.
Strange how life works.
Where are you from?
He says, I imagine on your side of the table right now, you would be a little uncomfortable if I was asking you a bunch of probing questions.
Oh, we just love meeting new people, is all.
Well, let's put it this way. You're looking for something on this mine. We've got to get down there to take care of some business. Maybe we help you find whatever you're looking for, and if you're willing to help us fix that hunk, and he points at the ship that looks like it's been damaged heavily, he said, we would be grateful. And we'll do what we can to help you out too. Meat Stick here is pretty good at sensing things. He can lead us down into the mine and protect us if we run into any... Oh, it looks like you've also got some protection here as well.
I'm happy to be of service to our current temporary associates and allies.
He's got a soothing quality. I like it. He's like a walking cough drop.
As you look over, you watch as some of the tendrils kind of writhe and a bit of strange drool tends to spill out in the front of the chest.
You know, it occurs
Incredibly
to me...
soothing, yes.
It occurs to me, Cillian, that this is the first time you've ever seen an ood. This is the first time... Hey, you remember what they look like?
Yeah, but I've seen enough by now that it's weird, but I'm just
Okay.
sort of
I
accepting
buy it.
it.
I buy it.
I mean,
I buy it.
yeah,
Strange, isn't it?
it is quite.
I
But
was
I've seen
talking to
stranger.
Meat Stick about your visage.
Oh,
What?
You get used to them, Meat Stick, eh? Ha 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 ha. I should be quiet.
I think humans look lovely.
that would
Don't
do
worry
us
about
all a favour, mate.
Oh.
I think I'll do a bit of a scan,
Yep.
see if I can tell if the thing I'm looking for is, say, underground.
Absolutely. 1 second. It's time for Daddy to take his tonic.
Eric's TBD RPG, brought to you by Throw Tonic.
you-
Tonic.
Drink it and feel better. Throw Tonic.
When you have to run a live stream game with your biggest cast ever and your biggest guest stars, and you have no voice.
The best jamming sessions
doing
go when
amazing.
robo tripping.
Oh my.
Oh, yeah. No accounting for taste, though. Jesus.
Also brought to you by Fuji.
PG, to chase that taste away.
I'm going to jump in since I'm about to use it, and I forgot to say it during the announcement.
Man alive.
But Gil made us a freaking Sonic.
Oh, yes. Gil, please don't fuck me. Gil built us a sonic screwdriver. That is of Gil's make. This is our second.
It's still in progress, but this is the official one based on the art by Matt Olson, and I love it so much.
No.
He is so upset.
What?
Because
the-
it was working perfectly until last night during crit roll. The light stopped turning on.
Oh,
and he
no.
has not been able to get it to turn back on.
They're going to
So
he's-
Gil
he's-
was just shaming himself, like, I am not worthy. I am a disappointment.
Incredible actual metal pieces on the end.
And
of
we
it.
were telling him it's true. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah.
This is awful. You are banned. No.
And now back to our program.
Oh yes, we're playing Doctor Who today. We love you, Gil. Thank you for that awesome sonic screwdriver.
Which I shall now use to locate an enormous rip in space-time, if I possibly can.
Okay. Did you have something? You
Nope.
Nope.
I was
Okay.
just enjoying
So-
the moment.
Okay. So you're gonna make a scan. I'm gonna need you to make a. This is a straight up ingenuity technology roll.
Let's do.
Yes, because you were using your sonic screwdriver.
13 base 15. And 8, 23.
Okay. Sometimes I don't know why I have you roll.
I didn't design the
23.
stats.
You are picking up residuals of paradox energy somewhere on this asteroid. The other doctor was not joking. There is somewhere on this asteroid is a massive rip in space-time. Your sonic scans detect that it's probably somewhere beneath the surface, maybe deep towards the heart of the asteroid.
We're going in that mine.
Lovely.
Everyone all right with this?
Indeed.
So what do you mine here exactly?
It's a mineral that's got a weird name called gelophyte.
Gelophyte.
Yeah, it's what people start to use. Think of it. Well, you're a human. Think of it like aluminum. It's sort of a.
You mean
flexible-
aluminium?
Oh yes, right. Thank you. British correction. Aluminium. Aluminium. Yes, thank you, my UK friend. Yeah.
That is a bonkers pronunciation. I'm just throwing that out there.
Aluminium?
Yeah.
No, aluminum's a typo.
Yeah.
Really?
For real, aluminum
Yeah.
was a typo.
Yeah.
Man.
That makes so much more sense.
When you don't know how it's pronounced, just listen to the English. You know, because they created the language, so they.
And we perfected it.
I don't know. We dropped an H from her.
Sure. You can have that. Sure.
Just more efficient.
To be honest, that I do agree with. Yeah. You can at least finish like a sentence quickly here. British people, it's ridiculous. You know?
Yeah, essentially what he describes is the metal is it's about as common as aluminium, and it's basically it's like a root metal that's used in it's like one of those generic metals that needs to be in just about everything. One of those root parts for building.
So I just wanted to be sure we're not mining anything terrifically dangerous here, but that sounds all right.
When
Yeah.
you said that Meat Stick could protect us in the mine, protect us from what?
Adric shrugs and says, "Every time we've needed meat stick, we didn't know we were going to need meat stick."
And I will say, the fact that this colony was abandoned 20 years ago does bring with it some curiosity as to why. So, it's best to be careful. Yes? And the fist clenches in the side.
Can't argue with that.
Like excellent advice, yes.
Well, we are looking for a giant rip in space-time, so danger rather is relative, isn't it?
Is it me, Doctor, or is there something not quite right about that bloke
Uh,
with the thing?
One last thing
I've met
before
some of them
we
before,
go
but they were different
down.
in my world.
Sorry, one last thing before we go down. My crew and I, meat stick included, we were here first, so we're going to get salvage rights claim if that's all right by you. Usually it's nothing too valuable, but when miners leave things behind, sometimes you can come across a laser drill and you don't know, and that's going to come in handy.
Seems fair to me.
Fine by me.
What we're looking for can't really be salvaged anyway.
Afraid not.
Gina's face. You do not like this guy.
Don't.
There's something. Gina, if you want to make a this, I think this would be actually appropriate.
Yep.
If you want to make a awareness resolve check.
Okay.
I do like that you were an actual pirate, so you
That's
know him when
the
you
thing.
see
Oh yeah,
him.
this is my pirate rights. I'm real mad.
Yeah, go ahead and make your roll, Gina. Tell me what Finn
What
gets.
did you say?
It's going to be awareness and resolve. And
Been up in the early 18th century.
18? Okay. It takes you a moment. There's something definitely not sitting right with you about this guy,
Yeah.
despite the fact he's being amiable. And it starts to occur to you, you can't put your finger on it why, but you spent at least 5 years at sea
Yeah.
dealing with some pretty nasty bastards.
Yeah.
There's something about this guy that reminds you of someone you might have run into at sea. You can't.
That's the feeling I've had already.
You can't put your finger on it, but at the tip of your tongue, if you didn't know any better, you'd almost say pirate. Your ability to smell your own.
She said freelancer, and I was like, pirate.
Yeah. or
was
something
being polite.
akin to. Whatever it
was
is,
being
whatever it
polite.
is, there's something about this man that kind of rubs you like he's of ill repute. He's a little too smug for your. It's just something about him. That
And why
your-
don't they bring
your
kids
instincts
on
are
their
tickled.
mining
It's
trip?
just flaring. What's that?
Sorry, I'm thinking out loud. Why did they bring a kid on their mining trip?
Kids can fit into small spaces.
Wait, one of them's a kid? I missed that.
Yeah.
Zeep is the kid?
Zeep
Yeah.
He's a child.
Zeeps
What
is a
age?
16-year-old kid.
16.
Yep.
What is that? He's old enough
He was
to
a bit
work.
terrified.
Not,
meeting-
Hey,
Finn was like, "That's when I went to sea." Like, what?
I was younger.
Yep. All right. So Adric says, "Well, it seems like we've reached an accord. So why don't
We have
Oh,
any weapons we
definitely.
find
Oh,
are ours. Any
I don't
aluminum
Reached
that
an
you find
accord.
is yours.
Close enough. Though I don't think you're going to find any weapons in a mining facility unless the guards left something behind.
You would be amazed what could be used as a weapon, Edric.
For once, I agree.
Of course you do. Right.
That was chilling. From you two. All right. Adric says, "Well then, shall we go inside?
Just
It's a bit of a march to get there."
one word with my companions for a moment before we join you.
Sure, we'll wait over here. Meat Stick, you want to come with us?
As you wish, master.
As you approach Adric, unfortunately because of our setup today, it's going to be, I think, a little too tricky to run over and whisper into ears. So we'll play this like you guys are also going to watch as an audience. But Adric leans close to you, Meat Stick, and just says, keep an open mind around them.
Understood.
And he nods, and they all start moving away.
dude.
Okay, so
it's
you.
Just a quick one.
oh, hey,
Super-
you can do the same. Technically.
Those of you from this world, I've met Ood before, where Silly and I are from, but they were quite different. The one thing they may have had in common is that they were manipulated and used as servants. Can you tell me anything of the Ood in this world?
No, that sounds about accurate.
No, that's pretty much. He's not a normal Ood.
We are being secretive.
Well done, well done. A bit quieter, maybe.
You can tell by the looks from the party, from the group that's only like 10 feet away at this point. They all kind of looking back and then looking at each other, all of them having heard that.
Suntorans, right?
Yes, right.
Well, Ood, could I ask you a favor?
Real quick, Darren.
Yes.
Make an awareness resolve check.
Awareness
Resolve.
check.
Yeah.
You've got to have like a -5 for that, right?
So that's a 6, and that's a
Plenty of
nothing.
willpower.
Oh yeah, Will.
add
He's got
resolve.
like a million.
So add those
resolve.
together and then add
12.
12.
Awareness.
That's actually enough.
Aware.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, normal difficulty. You were looking in their direction as they were looking back.
Yes.
Ava, the female, she might be giving you eyes.
literal lives as a present.
She's just throwing them at you. No, no.
Excellent. I would accept this as a gift.
She's just giving you an odd look. That it doesn't look threatening, at least not in the way you're used to. It's
Does
kind of
it
like a
look
quirked
as if
eyebrow,
plaintive?
Quirked eyebrow and crooked smile at the side of her face as she kind of looks you up and down and then turns back to her companion.
There's
Oh,
no
dear.
accounting for taste.
Really not.
That's so great.
I do this.
Centauran just leans and just cracks this big toothy grin.
Is he okay?
know what's
That seems to
happening.
please her as she turns back to her group.
Anyway.
Don't know what that was. Rogo, if I could ask you a favor.
What's that?
Maybe just perhaps stay a bit attuned to our new friends as we go.
Oh, absolutely. I would be delighted. I love meeting new people.
Lovely. We've discussed not entering mines, but if you happen to pick up anything particularly
But if they leave the window open,
It's so lovely to find out things about people. They have such lovely stories in their
Yes.
minds
If,
that I can read.
Can I check if they actually are
Careful, they're
human? Can I
humans.
just
Bit
scan the
gross, isn't it?
group?
Most-
you want to sort of sonic over your shoulder.
Yes?
Yeah, if you want to.
And actually, I can do the same.
What?
Can you know?
Many of us can.
Yes.
Well,
I have
Just-
psychic.
share all of your information when pertinent, please. Thank you.
All right, so go ahead and make your tech roll.
15
Jody,
and
were
7,
you
22.
also going to try to do it?
What? Oh, wait, which one?
She's saying she can also scan mine.
Yeah, no, I have psychic. So.
Oh, right. There's a lot of mind benders.
Yes.
So what'd you get?
22.
22. Okay. Over your shoulder. You're detecting an ood and 5 humans.
When all you have is a sonic, everything looks like a need to scan.
Yeah.
Okay.
if they've imprisoned and enslaved this thing, whatever you said it was called,
Ood.
It's kind of
Ood?
what happens to all of them, though. That's what they're created for.
But it doesn't have to be that way.
Well,
can
I think we have bigger issues right
saw
now.
if they've enslaved him, can we try it? Can we try and help him? I just
Don't worry.
after
Way
what we
heavy
just
on
went
that.
through with Roko and her people, I feel
They're-
I'm a bit frozen up just because I'm
Cillian,
flashing back to
you're
Donna
talking
and
to a lot of people that have been prisoners, so don't worry. If there's something that can be done, you can count that I will do something.
good. It's good to know.
Finn's got that
Thanks,
look in her
Finn.
eyes.
Thanks, Finn.
She's not the only one.
I'm a bit frozen up because I'm flashing back to Donna and thinking how, like, apparently Donna never traveled with me in this world, and that was
Yeah.
a wonderful memory that I am literally the only person who still has.
Yeah. That's true. Your last encounter
Dang.
with the ood was probably a unique one, but you hadn't regenerated from 10 to 11 yet, I believe.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
we haven't settled exactly when in the timeline, but I assume we've been through
Yeah.
the...
Yeah.
Also, Doctor, just a quick side note. Aldrich, not a good guy. I've sailed with many men like him.
Right, yeah. I trust your instincts, and he's not giving me the best of vibes, I might say.
No, very bad vibes, but you know, just making everyone aware. I'm
Just
looking at
FYI.
you. Don't
Indeed.
shoot him, but like, you know.
I cannot. You hold my weapon at the moment.
Am I?
Speaking of which, not speaking of weapons, but does anyone want like a jacket as we go into the mine
I
here?
have a very nice one, thank you.
Yes, you do.
I'm ready. My father was a
Yeah,
miner.
go on then.
I've got this.
Okay. You guys going to rejoin the group?
We have finished being secretive. We are now rejoining you.
Adric has got this big smile on his face. And he says, you know, I always like that about the Centaurans. They just sort of, they don't screw around, you know?
I
Well,
lean
not
in
people
and
who-
go.
He's smiling and then he goes, yeah, right, so let's...
We are very fond of people who are open and above board. Yeah.
All right, well, just so you know, the mine, because of the terrain, we weren't able to land close. It's about a half a mile this way. So we've got a path through, but it's going to be a bit of a trek. You'll be lucky to know that they have these things all over the place. And he points up, and on a hillside, you actually hadn't noticed it before. But there's this, looks like a bronze, sort of like a marker has been stabbed into the ground. It's made out of sort of like a gold bronze plated metal. And it's about, I would say, 5 feet tall. And about midway, it sort of opens up into what looks like a glass-styled casing, maybe some sort of translucent, maybe it's a polymer of some kind, you're not sure, some kind of like see-through metal. And inside is this weird viscous blue fluid that's emanating like pulses of light.
Does that technology look familiar at all?
Make a roll.
What?
This would be your knowledge. This would be ingenuity and I would say technology.
Oh, good.
And what'd you get?
22.
Okay. Yeah, you've seen this technology before. It's not specific to any one race. It's basically, it kind of has the same effect that the TARDIS has, where within like a certain radius, it creates atmosphere and it regulates the temperature. So it literally creates like artificial atmosphere, and it's a way to walk on the surface of a planet that has no atmosphere at all comfortably. So it's not unusual to see like colonies or whatnot that have these sort of things stationed outside, staggered all over the place, so you can just walk around in deep space without worrying about cold or oxygen. And they have an extraordinarily long lifespan because most of them are solar powered. So.
Yeah, I guess you didn't actually check for atmosphere before opening
Not,
the doors.
not even a
did you?
bit. No.
Well, but the TARDIS also has.
Yeah.
Well, they were human standard.
Yeah. There's this amazing moment in Peter Capaldi's first season where he's meditating on top of the TARDIS in deep space. It's just so cool looking. Anyway.
She's got her backs.
Yeah. So yeah, he kind of starts leading the march. And they all sort of, interestingly enough, the way they line up is they sort of file single column and they start making their way through. It looks like a pretty tight fit, like a pretty tight like pathway that's winding through all of these caverns and crevices on their way to the mine. It looks like this place was probably pretty well traveled when it was still in use. The side effects of walking on the surface of an asteroid is a lot of footprints, because there's no wind here really, even despite the sound effects. Is that footprints don't go away. So as y'all are walking around, you do in fact see old footprints of miners, which you assume are miners, in these pathways. It takes, I guess, if you guys are walking at a normal pace, it takes about 45 minutes just walking before you finally come to a large outcropping in the like a rock face, in the gray rock face, up ahead. It looks like the mouth, like a drilled, like a cave has been forcefully made here, but it looks like there are these metal, it has a metal rim around it, and it's created sort of a, I want to say a holographic, but like a force field that's closed the inside of this mine area. So think of it like it has a metal frame, a massive metal technological frame with wires and LED-styled like blinking lights all over it. It's still operational, and it's closing in the mine as you guys approach it. And as you get nearer, Adric just goes and steps right through the shield. And the moment he does, he turns around and you see him go, and you see his breath can be seen. And he just kind of goes, gets a little cold coming in.
Grab my scarf tighter.
Yeah. Everybody just steps in. He walks over to a control panel, and as everyone enters, you see what looks like this mine probably goes in the ground in front of you, goes forward maybe another 20, 25 feet, and then it just like mines and their creepiness, it just goes into black. And it's that same deafening, eerie blackness that you would find in an Earth, in like a mine here on Earth. It just goes off. He walks over to a console to his right and says, "See if I remember how to do this. It's been a while." And he presses a few buttons, and you see these lights just go down, 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 down into the darkness. And not noticed before, just below the drop is, it looks like an elevator, probably one that goes, like a platform that takes you down. Metal covered in like gray dirt from the asteroid. And he walks over to it, and the company starts following him.
Now that we're here and we know where it is, but before we go underground, I want to do a psychic read just to make sure we're not going to get attacked. As soon
Okay.
as we're-
Okay. So then, what's the roll for that again?
It says resolve and awareness +4.
Resolve. Okay, go ahead and make it.
defensive.
Hey,
Or
Matt.
is it defensive?
No, that's correct.
Okay.
The defense is resolve plus ingenuity.
Oh.
Hey, Matt. Meat Stick. Can you make an awareness resolve check for me?
I'm not being so self-controlled about it.
I'm trying.
12.
You asked me to.
I'm guessing. Let's see. I'm guessing you guys are probably standing about 10 feet away from each other.
It's line of sight.
What was your roll?
24?
24. Okay. Who are you scanning?
I
you
don't know
try-
if you can do with like the whole group.
Right, so this is sort of like you want to just get a basic empathy.
Well,
read
you
on
know what? I'll go
everybody?
after the leader.
Adric?
Yeah. Adric.
Okay. All right. Let's see what he rolls. $24, you said?
Yes.
You don't know what to make of what you just felt from him. But he seems very joyful, happy, excited. No malicious intent at all. It's like a kid on their birthday.
Do I sense that somebody's been taking a bit of a psychic trip in someone's mind?
Do you also want to check in?
I just, in ambient
If you wanna-
terms, notice that somebody's.
So if you want to try to detect what's going on, go ahead and make a roll. It's going to be your awareness plus resolve.
Yep.
Tell me what you get.
7 22.
Okay, 22. You feel the rip. You feel it's like disturbing the water. You feel psychic energy suddenly. You think it might be coming from the Time Lord. You're not sure. There is an ood in your presence. Yeah. But that's all you're reading from that. You feel the presence of psychic energy.
Meanwhile, I'm going to shoot the doctor a sort of like confused half shrug, like, I don't know what's going on here.
Meat Stick, can you roll one more time for me? The awareness resolve.
Oh, that's better. That is 14.
14. What was your roll? 22.
Oods unfortunately have a susceptibility to psychic intrusion. Kind of a historic flaw.
You're so nice.
Okay. Yeah.
It's the saddest episode of the show.
Yeah.
The Dr. Donna.
This long journey into the darkness is just the only noises that's being made is the grinding of this machine as it descends deeper and deeper. It's actually not the cold. The cold doesn't really change. It's just chilly. You can see your breath when you exhale. But you all begin to feel a little dizzy as it goes deeper and deeper. You see Adric is affected. He kind of like leans against the wall, and then when he starts to fall back, he grabs onto Meat Stick, just like to steady himself.
Calm him with one massive hand. Sir, are you feeling all right?
Yeah, it's just the asteroid's spinning, and the artificial gravity here compensates. It can be a little disorienting when you're going to the center, and I'll be all right.
I apologize about your puny form.
He pats you on the shoulder. No worries.
Question about Centaurans. They're cloned for deep space.
You're just sitting there looking at everyone getting dizzy.
Okay.
What is wrong with these people? Everyone looks like they're getting kind of like,
Would the Time Lords be okay?
Oh, that's
The
actually a
Time
good
Lords would be okay, right?
Actually, maybe. Maybe, yeah. I would rule that it's probably not affecting you anywhere near as much. Time Lord's physiology kind of breaks a lot of rules.
I think I feel a tingle in my My fingertips.
Gotcha.
No.
Doctor, for some reason, Doctor, I am
Yeah, I'm
not
feeling
perfect.
pretty weird, actually.
I know it's
It's
not
like
taken.
it's like deep diving or something. I feel weird and headachy and dizzy. It's
You two
really
okay?
disorienting.
I don't have an inner ear.
Like
I'm
I
quite
might
fine.
pass out
But
or something.
Cillian, let me know if you need any help.
I will.
Your hand
Well,
works
thanks.
brilliantly.
I don't like being this far down.
Well,
I mean, like being a
Well.
future asteroid.
get you back.
Adric
there.
says,
These
well,
are your people.
that's the funny thing about this whole
yeah,
madness
not
going
that
down
part's
into
not
this thing
so
is you're not
cool. We've
technically
got
going
slaves
down. We could
again.
actually be
I
going
mean,
up.
what I thought we
Or
knew
sideways
better.
in an asteroid. There's really no up or down, which is
Me
why
too.
we're kind of
Me too.
Humans are
experiencing
brilliant, but
having
you
fun
don't learn
time
from
right
your
now.
mistakes.
Apparently not.
You get used to
We
it.
missed
Yeah,
that.
it'll wear
Yeah,
off when it
sorry,
gets to
sorry.
the bottom of the mine and you actually have a tunnel in front of you. It'll get better.
We're very sorry. We cross-talked and we missed what you said.
Oh, Adric was basically just telling Finn, don't worry, when we get to the bottom of the mine, it'll get better. He was saying that there's no up or down. You guys are you're in a spinning asteroid. There's no top bottom.
The gate is
here.
down.
Right, the enemy's
Yeah.
down.
You're not technically going down, you're going to the center.
Yeah.
And that could be from any direction.
Cillian was just telling me how disappointed he is that future humans have reverted to slavery.
Thought we learnt from that one.
Whoops.
Humans are brilliant, but you don't learn from your mistakes, do you?
What's that
No,
great
we
quote?
don't.
Not to know what happened before you were born is to remain forever a child.
Yeah.
There you happen. That's why you got to educate.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys come to a stop. You see the long, dark shaft of this mine. Don't do it, Duncan.
I'm
Don't do
already
it.
doing it,
Don't
Eric. I've
I've
already done it like 3 times in the past 5 minutes. I'm just keeping my mouth shut.
What's happening? Are the humans being filthy again?
When are they not? Come on.
Yeah.
Adric says, he does this motion, and you see the team, his people, hoist up their guns and charge off into the darkness and set up like an assault squad, stagger each other one after the other
What
with
exactly
meat
are we
stick just walking in
expecting
front of
down
him.
here?
Do you expect the minerals to fight back?
I expect we're going into an asteroid that hasn't been inhabited in 20 years. I don't know what's down here.
Right. What do we know about the colony that was here?
Just that they're not here anymore.
Do you know who the colony? You said you don't know who it was controlled by, right? You just tried to avoid the place, right?
Yeah, for
that's
the
right.
most part. I just know that it used to be a penal colony, and then it was abandoned some time ago.
Would you have any way to find that out by like
Probably because there was
say,
not much left in mine.
scanning around?
But we'll see.
Oh, that's
It's a good.
I'm trying. I only whispered that because I don't want them to hear. But you know, you have
What-
to hear what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, what's
saying as the GM. But I'm just realizing. But I was asking the doctor. Could you scan around the technology that's here and
Yeah,
figure
does
out
the
who
technology
built the place?
Remind me of any particular future civilization that I might have run into. I know that might be different in my world anyway, but
Well, right now you're not seeing a lot of tech aside from the elevator that just took you down, but you
I
are
mean, did
detecting.
see a crazy force field door.
Yeah, the crazy force field door. That could belong to a lot of species.
Yeah.
As you're scanning with the I'm guessing you're going to scan with the sonic again. I won't have you roll because we can just keep your last roll. You're detecting that up ahead is a control room that's probably overseeing the mine. There's no power running to it right now, which means it's just pitch black up ahead, and there's nothing but your lights or a way to, if you can find a way to power it. But judging from the look of it, you don't see any insidious technology. It doesn't look like this is a Dalek stronghold or anything. This just it looks like it's an old mining colony.
Nothing particularly distinctive, but I am keeping my eyes open. Good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doctor-
I will say though that now that you're down this close to the center of the asteroid field, your readings, it's like the EKG meter in Ghostbusters. It's just going off the charts with
Yeah.
paradox energy. Like you can feel your sonic is picking it up big time. Whatever's down here, if there is a rip down here, it's the largest one you've detected so far.
Cillian, you're the only one who can help me. Watch for changes. There's a lot of paradox down here.
Okay.
It already is curious, isn't it, Doctor, that they don't remember who ran this penal colony.
It's hard to tell what they don't remember. I just never knew.
I didn't
Well,
I
even
don't seem
think
to
of
care
that.
very much about the wider context.
One often knows what one is scavenging when one scavenges. Or so
I
I'm
think-
told.
Finn?
I think she's really onto something there.
They, but thank you.
Well, anyway, let's get up ahead. Adric lifts
We
up his
find you
gun and says,
suspicious.
Adric hoists up his gun and he just says, look, I know you're not too trusting of me, so I'm going to send my man up ahead to scout. If you wanted to send anybody with them, you have the option.
Doctor, might I go ahead, please?
That is an excellent idea.
Yeah, might want to give him a gun, though. You don't know it's down.
You might not want him to have one.
I need no weapon.
He's on his own, yeah.
I am the one with the gun. Do you mind if I go?
Perhaps if the two of you, yeah.
Why don't we have the one with the gun stay with us? For protection.
Been up to you. You want to go or you want to stay?
Well, I'm not giving him my gun.
He's all right without it. He's all right without
He
it.
says he doesn't need one.
I've named it and everything.
You can have it back later.
Very well. Treat her well.
Oh, don't you worry. I will.
All right, so it's you. You're gonna go, Darren.
Yes.
Okay. So Adric turns to you and says, "All right, meat stick. You know what to do. Go up ahead, take a look.
But
See.
of course, Master.
And good luck." And looks at the Centaurian, and then he backs off and just folds his arms. And
turn wide shoulder toward the Centaur and say, Third Librarian, Veleg, Fourth Keeper of the Holy Articles of the Centauran Empire. It is a pleasure to have you at my shoulder.
This thing goes thudding off into the darkness.
Well done. I shall keep up with you, Shorty. Ha 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 ha. I have named him Shorty.
And you watch these two just get swallowed by the darkness as they move on through. If you want a light source, I don't think it's a stretch to the imagination that Meat Stick would probably have his. Oh yeah, Meat Stick's got his cube.
My translator cube actually kind of lights up and glows. It normally blinks along with my speech as it translates the thoughts into speech. But at just a brief bit of will, you see it emanate this kind of low glow of light in the tunnel and kind of operates as a general sight point.
Okay, you two move down. You guys move down about 30 or 40 meters, I would say.
Meat Stick, have you been this far into the mines?
I apologize, but no. This is my first foray into this particular cavern.
Oh, are you excited?
I am expecting some sort of interesting circumstances, yes. Excitement, however, I find difficult to express.
It's like this. And I jump up and down several times.
Mystic stops a second and his paw is followed as before.
So you guys don't know what the hell is happening down
What are they doing down there?
We're excited. We are excited.
Why?
You just see the light source doing this, and then you all hear this low. You don't know if they're practicing for the opera and baritone or what, but yeah.
Oh, they've made friends. Oh.
Or they're having a game of shadow puppets. You have no idea.
Same thing.
Actually, in that moment, I'm going to turn to Adric and be like, if you're offering weapons, I wouldn't mind taking one, and give him a very charming smile.
Do you want to try to convince him?
Yes.
as the hairs on Amy's neck stand on end.
This game is an endless series of my worst and most terrifying enemies, and I'm teaming up with all of them, and so far it's working, but oh my god.
Jody, so Lisa's going to need to roll a presence plus convince.
Yeah, that's like my best roll. 25?
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
He's going to give you like
charming.
2 bazookas.
Oh my god.
It's going to be spectacular.
Wow. Okay. He looks
She's
at
a
you,
very
goes,
nice smile.
He just says, "Why not?" He pulls out a handgun and just hands it to you. This
Thank you.
futuristic, like laser slug thrower kind of hybrid thing. Just forks it over to you. It basically does the same damage as those Time Lord rifles that I told you about before.
Yes.
4
4LL?
It's not 4LL. It's 3LL.
Okay.
So it's 1 less. But yeah, bam! You now have a lethal weapon. You guys watch as Lisa just receives. Adric, you know, for a guy who's suspicious, seems very comforted by Lisa suddenly, and he's like, "Yeah, all right." Probably reading a little more into the smile than anybody else when he hands you the gun. Yeah, gives you a gun.
Hey, I need a minute. Sorry.
Sure. No problem.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Is your arm okay?
No.
You all right?
That's the problem.
Duncan has a thing with his arm, and this son of a bitch acts up from time to time. So, you guys are moving deeper into the mine. Make a awareness resolve check. This seems to be the role of the game right now.
It's the role of every
So
game.
combine both?
Yeah. So roll 2d6 and then add your awareness plus your resolve.
Are we all? Is it just the two of them?
Yeah, just the two of them.
15.
Okay.
13.
Yeah, we didn't send
It
the
makes
person
sense
with the
that
highest
Meat Stick
awareness.
sees it. Yeah. As you're walking and looking, kind of observing this place looks like it's been crudely cut from stone using technology, not physical weapons, probably laser cutters and whatnot. The cuts on the rock face are smooth enough, and the burn marks are smooth enough. But as you're moving through the darkness, and the Centauran, being the Centauran, being this meaty, like, kind of looking around and checking things out. Meadstick, as you're moving through and just thudding through the dark, you just kind of glance to the side and stop as you see the partially decayed form of what looks like a human with mining like a miner's outfit on. The miner's outfit itself looks like it's in decent condition, but it's blackened around the chest area where you can see exposed bone. And part of the face of this miner has been rotted away. There's no weapons left behind in this thing at all, but it looks like it does not look like a natural death.
Right. I immediately, my right hand reaches out and just slams into the chest of the librarian. Librarian friend, it appears I've discovered a corpse. Please, as a master of warfare, could you inspect and see the means of death?
Indeed. I look closer at the dead body.
Okay. Then I would say
By doing this.
Seeing this, I actually reach down and palm the librarian in the hand and lift him.
By what?
Thank you. Yes. What should I roll?
Let's see. What's your medicine skill, out of curiosity?
My
It's not gonna be very
medicine
high, is it?
skill is 1 million. 1. Is 1.
Yes, I remember a
All right,
strength
well, this is
medicine
gonna be a
check
tricky
and
roll.
a
It's
dislocated
okay.
shoulder.
Make an ingenuity plus medicine check.
Okay.
Remember, you can spend story points if you ever need to. I only bring it up because none of us have spent story points yet, myself included.
I'm
It's the
going to
longest
use
we've
a
ever
story
gone.
point, which would bring it to 14.
We're aware.
What's that?
It would be 14 with the story point?
The story point gets you 2 extra dice.
Oh, 2 extra dice.
Or after you roll, if you want to spend a story point, you can bump it up a level. So if you failed, you can bump it to success.
I got 13.
So you would need to bump it up a level.
Okay, so I will use the story point. And
So
do
well, that's fine. Yeah, go ahead and roll and add the 2 dice.
6.
Plus 13. So, yeah.
Greetings, human corpse. I am Third Librarian Velig of the Sontaran Empire. You will reveal your secrets to me.
This dead thing. It looks like it was a human, probably in middle age. Looks like it was probably killed while it was. Is everyone okay? We all good?
Is that a TARDIS and a Dalek?
Looks
Yes.
like.
Your Dalek is a 1.
Oh, I thought my Dalek was a 0.
Yeah, don't worry.
I got another one.
Oh yeah. So yeah. Daleks are 1s. This human looks like it was probably in the just from that roll. You're kind of painting the picture of what might have happened. This human was probably in the middle of running from something. Judging by the way it's fallen to the ground, and you can actually see tracks as well.
Oh, it's on the ground. It's not.
No, it's not in the ceiling.
Oh. I thought
No, I'm sorry. Did I mess that up? It's
Yeah,
actually-
I thought he
it's-
was up in the.
No, he's not in the ceiling. He's actually slumped up against the ground. Like he's kind of.
You're just
he's kind
very short.
Yeah.
You're a Smurf, and nobody told you. Yeah. So this human looks like they were in the middle of running. The wound is probably on its back, but it did exit the front. It looks like it was impaled.
Oh, with a spear. of some
Something,
kind, with
possibly a spear or something. Whatever it was a clean kill.
Okay.
It doesn't look like it was a savage attack of any kind. It looks like it was a clean kill.
Like an assassination. Like
An assassination or maybe a skilled hunter. that kind of thing.
Meatstick,
Yes,
I believe we are being hunted.
that would be unwise for them.
Agreed. And we move forward.
I gently place
Little John.
Centauran onto the ground.
Okay, you guys continue on. Another 60 meters or so, and you start noticing that the earth, the soil at your feet is starting to thin out, and you're starting to hear the pounding of deck plates underneath you. And sure enough, the sort of scattering of sand in front of you gives way to this tarnished-looking metal as you are all suddenly walking on a plate. And the hallway itself starts to become more technological looking. It looks like this is probably where they inserted the command center. You walk into a room. It's rather abrupt because looking ahead with your light source, you're able to see just kind of like that Half-Life, that scary Half-Life like flashlight moments where you're looking around. You can see this room is sort of oval shaped and it's filled with control consoles and computer outlets and data centers. There's this massive wall of glass that you're guessing looks out over the interior of the mine because the light source just disappears passing through the window. It doesn't touch anything on the other side. And it's a small room. Probably big enough maybe for both of the parties, but it'd be a cramped fit.
All right, I will immediately do a pass of the room just to make sure that it looks relatively safe.
Two more bodies in here. One of them slumped over a computer console. There's overturned chairs. You see...
Do I see similar wounds to the previous body?
I would say yes. They look like they were probably killed in surprise. They did not die of natural causes. It looks like, just like as Meatstick scans the room, you're seeing overturned cups. You see like cutlery. It looks like maybe they were in the middle of maybe lunch or something. Overturned. It looks like this place was hit hard and everyone killed. You also encounter a few bones that are not attached to any skeletons, just laying in the room. And it's eerily quiet in here. There is a very small layer of dust, but not enough. Probably just from the decay of the bodies. And the air down here is very stale.
Third librarian, it would behoove us to notify the rest of our party of our findings.
Indeed, I agree. Shall we return, or shall one of us stay here?
You stay here.
Indeed.
I will let them know what we found.
Indeed. While Meatstick goes off, I take one of the bones, break it, and start to fashion a little weapon of some kind. Yeah.
You snap it with no problems, being a Centauran, and you start grinding. And you just...
Is it a human bone?
It's a human bone. It's the last thing you see as the light source in the room completely gets swallowed by Meatstick leaving, and then it just goes completely dark. And in the darkness, you just continue sawing away at this thing. A few minutes pass, and you see the light source returning until Meatstick appears without the Centauran. Veleg is not with him.
Is everything all right? Where's Veleg?
Veleg is currently waiting at what appears to be a command center we've located within the mine,
Oh, fantastic.
as well as a number of bodies that have been destroyed and left to die.
Not fantastic.
No, but do please follow suit. The way is currently safe. And just walking back towards where I left the Centauran.
That Adric says, see what I mean by soothing? He can give you bad news, and now it's okay.
They've got many lovely qualities.
Yeah.
Right, everyone ready?
Yep.
You hear the sounds of guns being cocked as the team behind him. Okay, so what we're gonna? So as you guys preparing to follow Meatstick back into the thing, so the only noises you're hearing right now is. Your hand kind of comes to a stop as you realizing in the darkness, it's not you. You hear. Somebody is breathing in this room, and they're not trying to hide it.
Unidentified breathing individual. You are now a prisoner of the Centauran Empire. I have a bone. You will not resist.
A few moments pass, and you hear a strange reply. And just, it doesn't sound like it's that far away. You don't recognize the language at all, but instinctively, as you're hearing it, it doesn't sound particularly threatening. It does have a tone of menace to it.
Excuse me, I do beg your pardon. Did you just utter Gruntish Gratisak Narak? Or did I somehow get that wrong?
You hear something like this low groan in reply. Uh-oh. If my voice had a heart meter, it'd be at 3 right now. Although it's doing wonders for this alien voice. I wish I was a voiceover actor.
We feel your plight, trust us.
More orc sounds. Go.
So yeah, this sort of this. If you didn't know any better, you'd think it was irritation.
I apologize if I have irritated you. Perhaps I shall sing you a Sontaran opera to calm your nerves.
Everyone's waiting with bated breath.
Santa, Santa, we are the brightest star by far. Who will be brighter than us? No one, because we reduce them to pus. No fuss, reduced to pus. That is us. Have I calmed your nerve, unidentified individual?
I would be such a horrible storyteller if I didn't give you a story point for that. I would be so remiss. So you all hear.
Can we hear that?
Opera. Oh yes.
Meatstick turns to the rest of you. It appears our Sontaran ally is in some sort of duress.
Oh my God.
That is a word
Doctor,
for it.
I think he's singing. What? Is that common behavior?
I feel like I've heard Sontaran opera before. It's not usually a comforting sound.
No, it's usually sung when they're about to slaughter people.
Yeah, but this time,
Okay.
That Sontaran song brought to you by Halls. Cough drops.
At that
Shall we?
Well, he's
try to
alive,
go
that's a good
little bit
thing.
more quickly then.
yes, but
Meatstick is already in a
Yeah, running. I am also running with Meatstick.
Meatstick, surprisingly, almost frighteningly agile as this massive ood disappears. Just.
Running after him because he has the light.
yes.
No.
Yeah, so Meatstick, you're the first to arrive.
We passed that body on the way, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Get a very quick glance at the body as
Glance
we go.
down, dead human. Has been dead for maybe 20 years.
Okay.
Yeah. You're starting to get an idea of why the mine may have been abandoned. You're not, it's like, that. You guys all come charging into the room where you see a very joyous, spirits lifted Sontaran by himself with a sharpened bone in his hand. To Velig's credit, in the darkness, has sharpened this bone into a very fine point. Probably good for at least 2 or 3 stabs. It looks pretty lethal. He's alone.
What?
As he comes charging in.
What is
Us! I have a bone.
what sort of bone? What's going on? Are you all right?
I was singing Sontaran opera to an unknown individual who was breathing and saying things. I believe they were.
I'm sorry, did you say unknown individual? Oh my God, there are more bodies.
And
Look around the room.
And there's somebody. There's something alive in here as well, right?
Yes, me.
Besides you.
Yes.
Something was talking to you.
I heard breathing. I heard sound.
What was the thing you said he said?
I could have gotten it wrong.
Do any of
I
us
was-
recognize that?
Anyone know what that is?
The Sontaran might accidentally be saying something about tree leaves in a foreign alien language. It sounds like gibberish to you.
I'm good with alien languages, but I would like to take a little bit of a psychic looky-loo
Okay.
for other minds.
All right.
All right, let's do this.
Make your roll.
All right. 4 plus 4 is 8. 19.
19.
Yes, please.
Okay, let's see. This will be interesting. Who here is psychic? We have meat stick. Oh, you guys. Okay, cool. Excellent. Okay. You reach out to try to sense the presence of, see if there's anybody else in this room. There's a lot of people here, and you're beginning to feel the sort of the essence of life, these sentient minds that are surrounding you. And as you're reaching out, suddenly you feel it's almost like if you were walking with your eyes closed and your arms outstretched, it would be like someone took your wrist and very gently led you towards another direction. And all of a sudden, your mind connects with another mind. It basically feels the way it might feel as if you were trying to walk where you want. Let's put it this way. You were basically like, no, dear.
Someone just pushed my wheelchair in a different
Yeah,
direction.
basically. Yes, and you find yourself connected to the mind of an ood. Meat stick, you feel the presence of Roko immediately in your mind. The two of you are linked suddenly and aware of each other psychically. Roko, before anything else happens, I need you to make an awareness plus resolve check.
Yep. Is there any flavor of bonus that might be added to that?
Did you have psychic training?
Yes. Quite.
Then you can add. Does that give you a +2, or is that
Plus
a
4.
plus 4?
I also have empathetic for reading, like when people are lying.
In this one, it would be just a +4.
All right. 8 plus 4 is 12. 23.
Okay. All right, Matt. If you want to resist that,
as opposed to resist this, given Meatstick's history and the sudden presence of psychic intrusion, reflexively going to flood a series of momentary images and memories in your direction. As soon as you feel the mind connect with Meatstick, as opposed to getting images or emotion that you would expect from a surface read of an individual, you suddenly are flashed with bright hot pain, bubbles in water, needles going in, flesh being torn and re-fissured in. You hear internal, external screams and the feeling of being pulled apart, and then suddenly it cuts off again and Meatstick falls to one knee.
you guys watch Meatstick suddenly drop to one knee, and seconds
Seeing
later,
that,
so Sam, I'm gonna need Roko to make a resolve presence check.
All right.
During that, I run to Meatstick and prop him up again.
Miraculously,
I'm also going to be running to Meatstick.
that'll depend on what you just rolled.
Pretty decently. Any sort of psychic bonus or anything to this?
I'll give you a +2.
Okay.
Because you're psychically trained. Give you a +4.
Okay, great.
It's gonna be tricky.
14. That's 25.
But you succeed. These sensations that suddenly come stabbing into you immediately trigger your experiences in the mind of Davros.
Yeah.
And suddenly that pain that you felt in the chair when you were tied into that cybernetic organism, everything that Davros was going through, for a split second you're feeling that onslaught. It's like the pain that you're feeling from Meatstick layered over on top of that, it's like two dragons coming up out of the darkness to just devour your mind. And it takes you a split second, but you anticipate that this is going to happen the moment you found the surprise of pain, and you shut that shit down. Finn, you've, of course, so many times have you seen your companion do this. You watch Roko have the reaction. You see Meatstick suddenly drop to one knee, and Roko just stiffens up suddenly and clenches their fists as they and for a split second you think you can almost hear Davros just like a cackle of laughter in the distance, and then you're back in this mine.
What did I tell you? I was looking for. I am just going to hold on to Finn.
Okay.
But I'm going to be running over to Michael.
Dragging you
Meat.
over.
Yeah.
Meat stick. Ow. For a split second. Your reality became the experience again. And as the flood of images pass by you and you realize you're on one knee, you are being touched by multiple people and supported.
I've also dropped my translator cube, which is now kind of dangling from the
Just sort of
umbilical
swinging.
in front of me. And as soon as I'm being lifted up, I kind of push back from it, like not wanting to be touched in that moment, kind of with an intentional burst of strength that is almost violent, kind of just push people away from me, reach down and grab and cradle the translator cube, right myself to full height, and I'm terribly sorry. It appears that I've been overcome by a brief emotion, but all is well.
Are you all right?
I'm fine, thank you. Master Adric, it appears that there is some sort of a presence in this room, from what our Centauran tells us.
May I scan?
Sure. Go ahead and make your roll. It's going to be a awareness. I'm sorry, ingenuity technology. Darren.
Yes.
Velig, as Velig was holding him there, as he's kind of shoved everyone back, just as a soldier, well, not as a soldier, but as a librarian who's also Centauran, this Ood has terrible strength. And I mean that in like the Voldemort sense. Like, this Ood is mighty. Like, you can just feel like that solid push was almost like an unstoppable force, just could have probably thrown a couple of people across the room, but this Ood seemed to have restrained itself as it sort of pushed everybody back. Even with your stalkiness, you kind of... and then he's back to being... And the moment you watch Meatstick's hands come over that cube again, just... It's like it didn't happen. Settled.
Your strength is impressive, my friend.
Thank you. It was useful.
Indeed. That moment was, dare I say, exciting.
There's no way to describe what you guys just witnessed and how it makes no sense to either one of you. But they seem to have found a language with each other.
Right, you mentioned another presence. Let's see if we can't figure out what that is. 22.
Before we initiate your scan, we have reached 1:45, which is our typical breaking moments. We like to take a quick... Is that cool, Denise? Can we take our 5-minute break? We will be back here in just a minute for the second half of the game.
What will happen?
Okay, welcome back, everybody, from our break. Just a quick heads up, my voice is continuing to take a turn for the worse, so...
But you're doing such a great job, thank you!
Thank you. I'm going to do what I can to get us through this part 1 of the game, and I think I can push it another hour. I think we can do this. I think we can do this.
Okay.
Yeah, so where we last left off, you guys had walked into the control room. You had had that psychic encounter with Meatstick, and Roko had the link up just took place. You got a glimpse of Meatstick's not so happy life. You're guessing, and you currently are now in a state of recovery. Although Meatstick looks totally fine. Meatstick looks like he's completely recovered from his ordeal.
Yeah, Mitzi looks totally fine.
Looks totally fine.
I totally buy that. I'm going to take Finn aside for a moment and tell her, Finn, I don't think our Ood friend came by that strength in any kind of pleasant or natural way. I don't know who's done it. I don't know if it's these scavengers, but we have to do something about this. They've been subject to terrible things, and we cannot let this stand. We should see what we can find out and see if there's anything we can do.
All right, I have an idea. Just please take care of yourself and stop going inside mines that hurt you, all right?
I just want to keep you all safe and...
I know, but it's my job to keep you safe, and if you keep going somewhere I can't follow, I can't help you.
Oh, like behind a closed door. Oh, never mind.
I said I'm sorry, all right?
Are you giving her shit for the
Yes,
charging the
again,
TVs?
I did
I would never do that.
At this point...
So, monster in the room, scanning.
Oh, yes, that's right. Did you roll
Yes,
already?
22.
22, okay. 22 actually is not enough.
No!
But...
Spend a story point.
Is it, am I allowed to? It's the weird mechanic. Like, I shouldn't technically know that failed, but I'd like to spend a story point to bump it up to a success.
You can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically you see that you're getting sort of a mixed reading on your Sonic. There is a presence here and you can...
Shake.
No, look. So you're spending a story point to bump it up. There, just as you're checking out these readings from your Sonic, there was a creature in this room that's retreating. And it leaves the radius of your Sonic scan immediately the moment you pick it up. It's like seeing a blip on a radar just disappear off the screen.
Which way? Like,
you don't have it. You
there's
don't-
windows, it's a closed room. How did it?
So it's not. There goes my "it is the room" theory.
Game over, man.
Oh.
Oh. There was
Love you,
something
Bill.
here, but it's just gone. Everyone be very careful. I don't know what happened to you.
Can I look at what is Zeeps doing?
Zeeps. Ooh, interesting that you brought that up. Go ahead and make your... I apologize that I sound like Rogue from the X-Men cartoon right now. Go ahead and make your awareness...
I need to apologize for
that. Yeah.
Awareness... I always had... I'm going to confess this. I always had a crush on Kitty Pryde. It was just my thing.
Did we all not?
I mean, isn't that...
That's what you're standard, right? It's Kitty. It's always Kitty.
Denise. behind the scenes.
Awareness. So make an awareness... Yeah, an awareness resolve. Just keep it simple.
15?
So yeah, the young man known as Zeeps is standing towards the back, looking very nervous, which isn't unusual considering the situation. With the 15 though, you notice that Zeeps is actually carrying something you didn't notice before. It looks like he has a satchel over his side.
Okay.
Maybe it's something for like scientific equipment, or like maybe it's part of like the mining equipment that he's got on it. But it's a satchel that he's got thrown over. It's kind of like a carry bag. It's almost like me and Matt's bag of holding. So it's like this sort of like carrier bag off to the side, and it's made out of that same sort of like hard canvas material. And he's got his hands on it. And he's just kind of looking around like really nervous.
I walk to him.
Everyone else is kind of scanning and like checking out the computer systems to see if they. If you walk up to Zeeps, he kind of startles and says, "I don't like it down here at all."
How many times have you been on a mission, lad?
Oh, I've been on a few. It's been all right. Nothing like this.
How long you been doing it?
About a year, I suppose.
Right.
Do you mine often?
My dad was a miner.
Really?
Yeah. It wasn't for me. I needed the open air and the sea.
What's that?
What's the sea? Have you never seen the ocean?
Sorry? Is that a...
No, sorry. Where are you from?
I don't really know. I just kind of come from all over the place, really. I was
Right.
born on a freighter.
Okay, do you know water?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
What? Do I know water?
It's like that, but imagine this entire asteroid covered in it. Just a big pool of water as far as the eye can see.
But wouldn't it float off into space?
No. You know how we're grounded? The water stays grounded. You can swim in it, you can walk in it, you can ride a ship on it.
So it's like a big swimming pool then?
Yeah. But massive. Lots of adventure out on a sea.
And you used to mine a sea?
Well, I didn't mine. My father, he mined on land like this. I used to find different kinds of adventure. Probably a bit like your captain.
Oh, yeah, I suppose. Something...
Are you having fun?
No, not really.
I couldn't tell.
I'm more of a mechanic. I don't...
Right.
I fix things. It's what I'm good at. Not so much about stalking into dark holes and... Shut up, Duncan.
I'm just sitting here like, can we take these? Is there room for seats?
Duncan is our phrasing mascot.
Maybe that's what I should just do now, is say
Phrasing.
that.
Yeah. How long have you been a mechanic?
Oh, all my life, ever since I was able to hold a wrench. Yeah,
Right.
I'm pretty good at it. Machines, you know, they talk to me.
That's lovely. I've never been much good with stuff like that.
Oh, it's
Just more punching, and I dazzle my arm in front of him.
without even really considering how rude it might be. It's not like he seizes you.
Yeah,
but
no,
he just
that's fine.
grabs your arm and looks at it and just, do you move it with your mind?
You know, I don't really know how it works. It sort of was put on me, as it were. Do you want to see?
Yeah.
Question, what's in your bag? You seem to be quite nervous. Do you need help holding it or something?
You've arrived at the moment. So when you say that, you see the smile falls away from his face and says, "Oh no, it's fine. It's just I'm entrusted to carry it."
Right, I bet you're a good lad.
Thanks. Yeah. Anyway, that's a nice arm, and he leaves. He moves away from you and walks to the other side of the room. He puts a few of the other team members in between the two of you.
Okay.
And
Subtle,
he
yeah.
acts like he's just checking you out. But it's an awkward departure because there's nowhere to go. But he puts two people between the two of you and he's like, "Well, look, that's a wall, isn't it?" And it's like,
Smooth in the way only a 16-year-old boy can be.
I feel like he leaves.
I walk up to Ava and do this. I then walk away.
Ava's in the middle of counting her gun clips as they're messing with the computer controls. As you walk up, she kind of gives you that sly smile, and as you give her a smile back, she stops counting the gun clips. And you two, it's a predatory grin, kind of like, there's really no mistaking it. It's kind of like, I will have you.
I walk away even quicker.
You're like moving off.
Everyone's awkwardly departing into this tiny space.
Yeah, it's weird. This little like room here, everyone's kind of shuffling around as they're both investigating and using this moment
giant
of
weird
reprieve to sort of get to know
interplay
each
happening.
other.
Which, as everyone is shuffling around the room, I loudly say, I apologize for taking up a majority of the open space.
Yeah, if there was a battle mat, you would be like taking 4 blocks.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Squares. Well,
You
let me
would
look at
be
this console.
the worst person to sit next to on an airplane.
Yes, very much so.
The worst.
Doctor, do you think there's any way we could get power to the computers? There
I
might
think
be
that would be-
records or
I'd love to know what
something.
happened to these people. I'd like to first look at the bodies and then help you with the computers.
Adric says, look, if y'all want to do that, that's fine. It's not what we're here for. We're going to go a little deeper into the mine.
Are you not a little worried about these 2 dead people?
He looks down and says, I mean, no. Why would I be worried? Have you seen how much heat we're packing? And he points back to his group. If anything wants to come and try to tangle with us while we mine this place, let
He's
him
not
try.
heat, he's a person.
He is my master, but thank you.
Right, well, I'm a bit concerned, so let's see if we can't find anything out from this room.
Tell you what, and he unclasps a radio transceiver and he tosses it to you. And as you catch it, he says, if you need us, dial us in. We've got business.
I don't quite like the sound of that. We came down here together. I don't fancy any of your crew. I don't care what you think. The rest of you might value your lives.
I think I understand the problem here. And he puts one foot up on the chair and he leans over to you and he says, I don't give a damn why you're here. It's a convenience that we ran into each other. And if you can help me repair my ship, then I'll help you find whatever you need. But I'm not here for these computer systems. We're here to mine this stuff and get the hell out of here. If you're not comfortable with that, then do whatever you want.
You think you're going... How exactly do you expect to mine the things while you're being murdered?
I don't plan on being the one that's murdered.
Ava
didn't bring
Brennick
this
Zeeks
to
Drep-
You just murdered that sentence.
Ava Brennick, Drep, and Zeeps. You've all come down here, and we all intend that everyone exit together. So if you'll just hang out here for a moment, we're going to see if we can't figure out what happened.
Oh, no, wait a minute. And Adric drops his rifle into a cradled position, and as he crosses his arms, he's like, look, I understand you don't trust me. I understand you don't like me. I understand that. I meet plenty of strangers in this world. I don't like them either. I respect you and your company. If you try to undermine my authority, we have problems.
Adric,
Since we already had a nice little exchange before, I'm going to sort of step up with that very same smile and be,
Okay.
dear, we're worried that there might be some sort of energy source down there, which is something that even your lovely Ood there wouldn't be able to protect you against.
Energy source. What energy source?
Well, we were talking about a rip in space-time earlier, remember? That could just swallow
I'm going to
you.
be honest. I don't believe you. I'm assuming you're here for some other business, and it's not my business to know, so I'm not going to push it. Unlike, you all, who seem to be very intent on finding out why we're here. I don't know if you travel the space lanes much, but you're kind of rude in that regard. He smirks.
Adric, I don't really care why you're here, but a good captain protects its crew, and you seem very not concerned with the lives of your friends.
I don't know who you think you're talking to, but have you seen my backup? And he nods over to Meatstick. I'm not concerned about protecting the lives of my friends because I've seen what my friends do to people who threaten their lives.
Meatstick kind of looms up just behind Adric and says, Master, if we are to progress, would you wish me to suppress our guests?
No. They'll be all right, Meatstick.
Very well.
It's just a misunderstanding. They're doing this out of concern, which is why I'm not taking offense.
Quite so. It's merely out of concern, and you don't seem, with that ship to be in a terrible hurry. So we're doing free work for you. We're scouting, we're reconnoitering, we're helping you. And we're helping you free of charge, and there's nothing one likes better than free, is it?
It's a strong case, except for we are on a bit of a schedule.
Why exactly?
There you are prodding again. It's not your business. Don't worry about it.
You come down into a mine that no one's been in for 20 years, and it turns out people have been murdered down here, and you're completely unruffled.
I've seen a lot of things. Okay, I come across bodies sometimes. Isn't that right? And everybody kind of like, it's like general. Sort of like
Come across them, do you?
Yeah. The only person who's not laughing about this is Zeeps, who's in the back just looking very nervous about all of this.
Well, I'm going to find out what's happened here. I suggest you all stay while we figure this out.
What time you got? And Eva steps forward and she looks at her. She looks at this device that she has on her wrist. She just whispers something to him. And he says, "Tell you what, we'll linger here for another 15 minutes. Seems like we're making good time thanks to your help.
Right.
That makes you all feel a bit more comfortable."
Quite so, thank you.
Excellent. Let's get down to business, shall we?
Okay.
Looking around, are these systems, do they just die, like batteries died out, or?
It looks like the power's been just, it looks like they powered down on their own accord. If you want to make your tech roll.
I could assist on that too.
Yeah, I'll let you do that.
Okay.
That'll give you a plus, and I think a +2 bonus. Wait. We did this last time. So what's your technology?
Oh, mine's 5.
Mine's 4, but my ingenuity's 9.
Cool. Then
yeah, my ingenuity's
Then what
only
you'll
6.
do is you'll use Lisa's technology and your ingenuity.
Sweet.
And I'll give you a +2 to the roll.
14, 16, and then a +2?
Mm-hmm.
So 18 base.
So you're going to need this is going to be very difficult. It's going to be 24 difficulty. Tell me what you get. It's not going to be too difficult because you're at 18 base.
24.
Just got a 24.
Did you really?
Yeah, 24.
Okay. So success, but.
I can spend a story point to bump that up to a full success.
Do you want to?
Yeah, sure.
Burn it.
I haven't done any yet.
Burn the story point. Oh, I shouldn't try to sing right now.
No.
No. No. I'm going to take the voiceover actors. I'm going to stop talking, actually. There we go. Okay.
Next week, though, Eric's version of Centauran Opera.
Yes. It goes like this.
You know that one.
That noise, that's a horrible noise for you to make.
That's called Death Screech. My foes are defeated. Okay. The power source has been long powered down. However, using the sonic technology, you were actually able to find the few still thriving power cells buried deep within the batteries of this computer's complex. And it takes a few seconds of you scanning, along with your fellow Time Lord's help, and all of a sudden the place goes. All these lights just. The whole room comes to life, and you see spotlights sort of shining out, and you realize that the reason why the light wasn't shining past the glass is there's this massive cavern that's looking out from beyond the glass, where you see. Do you remember, to use a visual aid here, if you remember the quick clips you would catch of the mine in The Hobbit, the Dwarven mine, this massive underground cavern where they chiseled it out? It's pretty massive. I think I've said that 4 times.
Yes, but is it massive?
No, but it's massive.
Okay.
So it's this this wide open space. You can't even really see across because the lights themselves that are lighting up the entire area, they're too weak to actually touch the other side of the wall. Might be an entire mile across. And it just descends into total darkness. It looks like this is an old mining facility. And the computer comes to life, data pads and data readouts, stuff like that.
Any, say, journal entries?
What did you roll, 24?
Yes.
Okay, so this isn't an if you find them, it's how long it takes you, so go ahead and make, quick.
As the doctor's looking
Yeah.
through, I'm just going to pop over and say, I do think that Belly did find something, and it does appear that there's some sort of sapient creature. I sort of took a bit of a psychic scan and was redirected somewhere unexpected, but that does indicate that there's something there, and it's possibly quite powerful.
Is that what happened to our friend? Are you all right?
I'm quite fine. Everything's okay.
Thank you, Roko. I know I asked you to. Please do be careful.
Of course.
But we will keep an eye out. Thank you.
Go ahead and make your ingenuity technology roll.
Okay. I've been using Tech Adept, but I do also have Boffin, which includes jiggery pokery, so lots of technology.
Yeah, that wouldn't necessarily apply here,
Right.
but
It's
but
cobbling
good to
together
keep in
something
mind.
more,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Am I assisting again, or?
Is this?
I mean, you can
Yeah.
if you want to.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
the two of you want to dig around inside the computer database, see how long this is going to take.
Okay, so in that case, 15.
We're going to confer.
We're 18 base again.
Thank you.
I can invert.
Yeah. And our favorite Dalek TARDIS combo, 25.
25. It's incredibly easy to find out with the journal entries and whatnot because apparently there was one being written when this system went offline.
I had a feeling.
It's never a good sign.
The data is corrupted, however, and it looks like because of the state of repair that this place has been left in for the past 20 years, it's difficult to make out what's being said on the screen. But you do see a video entry that looks like it has some corruption, but is playable.
I found something in the system. Anyone who doesn't want to see, kind of looking at Zeeps, is welcome not to.
Okay. So, as you activate this, Meatstick, I need you to make an awareness resolve check real quick.
Awareness resolve. All right. 16.
Okay. As you're watching this happen, you kind of casually glance to sort of look around the room, and you find Adric is staring right at you. And it's a look you've seen before. And he just goes, and you're kind of getting the impression that your master doesn't like that they're snooping in the computer. And then he looks at the others. If you, yes, I know. I can see the bloodthirst rising in Finn right now. If let's see, 1 sec.
Well.
Oh, okay. All right, Gina. I know you're gonna probably want to check to see if you see what's happening. Am I right?
Yeah. I mean, I had other things, but I also want to do that after you did that.
Okay. Go ahead and make your. It's going to be again an awareness resolve roll to see if you spot what's happening.
Did you get a TARDIS Dalek
15.
again?
Yeah.
We've been conferring. Can I also
Can you
make
do it with your
a looking at things check?
Yeah, I would say that would make sense because everybody else has kind of been wrapped.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
You as well, Darren. You can make that check too. It's an awareness resolve check.
I rolled the same thing. It worked better.
Yeah, it works better for you.
Well, it's casting stat.
Yeah. Okay, I rolled a 15. I don't know what Sam's rolled.
20.
Ooh. Yeah, I think that's higher than my 8. 18,
Yep.
if there's no bonus. Yeah.
18?
Yes.
Yes, but.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good, but.
And I wanted to do something since I
That,
don't
like-
notice anything.
Well, we're right.
You
Yeah.
The game of gambling doesn't really mean much to you. All you are thrilled by the idea of taking risks and trying to read people and whatnot. But you're a Centauran. You know when shit's about to go down. And as you're sitting there, you just noticed that it's been a while since anyone behind you has said anything or done anything. And as you kind of turn and glance, you catch the look that Adric sends. That Adric sends to a Meatstick. No one else is. Sam, you're going to notice it, but it's going to happen just as whatever Darren's about to do does. But it's essentially like think of it like the Old West. You know a gun, like when you look into a gunfighter's eyes, and you know when they're about to draw steel. It's kind of the same. Essentially what I'm telling you is you feel an impending sense of violence is about to take place.
I wouldn't if I were you, which I am not, for I am me. So you should not do what I would not do, because, yes.
If you want to make I would say a presence plus convince.
Okay.
That wasn't convincing enough.
As a storyteller, not very convincing. I just want to see if he's able to translate what you just said.
9, 11, and presents. 12, 13, 14, 16.
16?
Yes.
Oh, shit. Okay, so it all happens all at once.
Okay.
Oh boy.
You guys hear the outburst from the Centauran, and as everyone looks up at the exact same moment, you guys all hear that horrible sound of guns cocking, the clacking sounds of metal on metal as, you know, as like multiple people raise weapons. Roko, because it happened at the same time, you realize what's happening.
Yeah.
So you're able to react just as the guns come up. No one fires, however. But it's like they got caught with their finger in the cookie jar kind of thing. So everyone, guns come up.
So does my bone.
The bone comes up. But you actually...
Don't say it, English guy.
I wasn't going to, all right? I've kept my mouth shut every time. I tell my dumb jokes in the break.
All the guns come up, but Adric throws his hand up, which is your signal to not yet, kind of like he pulls a hold on everything. As everyone turns around, you see the imposing figures of their strike team. While you guys are at the computers and looking around, they've actually very skillfully moved into positions where they could flood this room with bullets if they needed to. And horrifyingly, the Ood, Meatstick, has positioned himself where he can launch an attack on the entire group. And his fist was up in the air as he's like called to a stop. But you all realize you're at gunpoint right now. However, your intimidation check was actually successful. So no one has pulled the trigger or initiated combat at all. It looks like you made Adric second guess himself for a split second, and he's called a hold to the fire.
Stop this right now!
Intimidating noises.
Thank you, Velig. Adric, what's the meaning of this?
I'll just read between the lines. After getting to know you, I know what you're going to do once you find out what's in that computer.
No, there's a reason you didn't want to answer our questions, is there?
Of course there was. Do we look like polite folk?
Not really.
I've known a lot of humans. Many of you are pretty wonderful.
Odd coming from a human. Smattering of.
You have no idea what I am.
True, which is why you almost got shot just now. You let us go on our way.
Oh no, I saved the doctor again. Oh, the shame.
The shame creeps in.
I'll be 5th librarian soon. No.
Oh, is that how it works? I thought he'd done something to the first two.
Wheel it out.
Look, we're on a timetable. We have our own agendas here. We're going to go on our way. We don't have to hurt anybody.
You want to be trapped on this planet forever?
We could use your help getting off.
Oh, you want something from us?
In return, we'll take you to whatever it is you're looking for. Like we said.
There'll be no more of this then. Pointing at the guns. Which are pointed at us.
All right.
Verification.
Let's work this out then. What are you really here for?
We told you what we're here for.
Yeah, a rip in space time.
I've seen it.
Your Ood knows. Meatstick.
Yes.
We're telling the truth, aren't we?
Would you like to scan them?
I would like to.
Okay.
And actually,
this
aren't
is
Oods
going to be
sensitive
awesome.
to time disruption sort of things?
What's that?
Not
That'd be
terribly.
turn of the thingy, right?
Yeah, turn
Feel the
of
turn
Turn
of
of
the
the
universe.
universe,
Do you have
and he
that?
does. Yeah,
I do
Meatstick
not.
doesn't
Oh,
have it.
okay.
Yeah.
more
So go
difficult.
ahead and make your. And I'm
Clarification.
guessing, Doctor, you're gonna actually, if you're gonna allow him to read your mind,
Yeah.
there's
I
really no role
normally
here.
don't. But
I will step forward. Like, I volunteer as tribute.
actually,
Yes,
I
they can
have
read.
some Ood-related memories he might want to
Oh,
see.
yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Oh. Double ones. However, with a +4 bonus. So that's, awareness resolve, you said?
Uh-huh. She's not resisting, so.
Right, yes, true. So it's 14 total.
Oh, yeah, you're fine. Yeah.
I want two things. I want to show my intentions and just enough of the memory of free ood.
Okay, so just so you know, if you're not resisting, he's going to be able to read your mind like a catalog.
I can't select?
You can, that would require resisting.
Got psychic.
Do you know what I mean? You're going to be very selective at what you give him access to. Otherwise, you're just saying, here's my brain. If you want to take a look, this is what we're doing.
I want to...
Be totally open with him?
No, I'd like to be selective.
Okay, so I'm going to need you to make...
You're fine.
What did we... Oh, damn it. What did we decide that the resistance roll in that was?
Resolve plus ingenuity.
Thank you, Sam.
9.
I'm going to go ahead and take this moment while she's doing that to award everybody a story point right now, because everyone's been doing great. And you're going to need them.
Resolve and ingenuity, that's 14.
Resolve plus ingenuity.
And the psychic, Sam, it gives me the +4 to resist, yeah?
Correct.
So I'm at an 18 base.
Yeah, you're fine.
And 5 is 23.
Okay, yeah.
Just like a doctor.
Yes, it's incredibly easy to decide what this ood is going to see.
Right.
So, so what
Not
you
trying
see...
to traumatize you, but...
So as you connect with the doctor's mind, you find yourself in a visual representation of a vast... it's almost like when you walk into a planetarium and suddenly you find yourself underneath a massive night sky. You see a wealth, hundreds and hundreds of years of experiences that you can't really make out as they're zipping past you, but you're suddenly aware that you're in the mind of an ancient being. Definitely not human. Far more ancient than anything you've ever connected with. And you also watch as materializing in front of you, you see an old man with an unusual hat on, and a scarf around his neck, and a black overcoat walk up to you with graying hair. He's got a cane in his hand, and he looks at you kind of critically. He says, think one of you know him? And he steps aside, and you see another and another man just walk in like center file as they start to break apart, and you see, unaware that you're actually watching each regeneration of the doctor sort of surround you as you are looking at all of these different faces, one of them wearing a very colorful scarf and a hat, curly hair, and a big curious smile on his face, saying, I don't think I've encountered one of these before. And as that happens, you see one in a gray pinstripe suit with glasses step forward and push them up and says, oh, it's an ood. Oh, I like them. Ood are great. And it's like the moment he says that, it's like a door, like a zip line appears in front of you and spreads open into an entire tunnel of experiences where you see memories of the ood and the doctor and a woman, and basically, essentially, you get a flash of you're flipping through Netflix right now. And you get a flash of all the episodic
binge
moments.
watching ever.
Yeah. You're seeing your people in ways that you've seen them before, but you see the doctor risking his life. And that's when you realize the regeneration, like you get the idea that this doctor has been around. You essentially... Let's put it in a way that you'll understand, Meatstick. The power of this being is extraordinary and has stood toe-to-toe with some of the most horrific and vile and most powerful beings this universe has ever known. And then it...
The fist still raised as I finish this read. The arm falls, and in the midst of this tension, I do a slow, intent walk towards Adric.
Adrix nods and says, so, what is it?
I lean forward, grab the back of Adric's neck, and lift him up off the ground and say, so, Master, what do I do with him?
Adric is completely... Holy What are you doing? Put me down! What are you doing? He's shouting out. Someone, make him drop me!
Do no such thing. If you all wish to survive, will do as my new master says.
All of them, they look terrified to point the guns at him. They're looking at each other left and right. Everyone looks completely shocked. They're like not sure exactly what to do. Adric says, Meatstick, if you don't put me down, I'm gonna plug you full of steel.
I mean no offense, Odric, but you know you won't have time.
That, Odric, looks like that just occurred to him. And he says, when we're done with this, you and I are going to have a little talk.
I look forward to it, former master.
And there you have it. He's just dangling there, and he lets the rifle dangle off to the side and says, right. I don't know what this is. I don't know what you did to my friend.
Your friend? Your friend who you've made obey you?
I turn to you. Oh, please don't misunderstand. My life is servitude. I wish to serve another. I serve those who are strong enough to be my master. And I see you hold the greatest power of those in the room. So I obey you.
Your help will be appreciated, but you owe no one service.
I am service.
You are more than that.
Sorry. Veeps is, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And he starts pushing through his friends with guns and says, I'm really sorry. Guys, I'm really sorry. You've been great. But, sorry, I'm just gonna, if there's a way I can do this. And Veeps steps over to your side of the gun line and says, sorry, just gonna, and they're like, Veeps, what are you doing? And he puts the satchel down on the ground and goes, right, sorry, it's just, if I can just say a few words real quick. I don't normally have the courage to do what I'm doing right now, so it's not gonna last, you know.
Absolutely, what is it?
Right, so first of all, Meatstick is absolutely right. There's no sense trying to talk him out of it. He lives for servitude, and I've seen him do some pretty scary things, so just say yes.
Told you.
And the other thing is they're not minors.
I'm sorry? What?
Eva just rolls her eyes and says, I told you we should have killed him.
Zeeps, you're safe with us. What's going on?
Adric says, if you utter another word.
Adric, I don't believe you're in charge anymore.
I point my gun at him, which doesn't really do anything because Meatstick's holding him. But.
Well, I mean, there's no...
You don't have to, because I take the translator cube and just press it against his chest.
Oh! He drops his gun. He immediately knows what you're doing, and he drops his gun. No, that won't be necessary.
Can I grab this gun?
Oh, yes.
I grab this gun. My arm is complete again! Gun and bone! Santaha! Ava?
Ava gives you this... She just shakes her head, and she lowers her gun again and drops it and puts her hands up. She says, I suppose there's worse people to be captured by.
Yes, there are. I shall now name them. Grontar the Awful.
That's all right.
Later.
Zeeps, what is it?
Lad, just take a breath. Just look. What do you need to say?
They are poachers.
Poachers of what?
Well, we would go from place to place killing rare animals and then selling them on the black market. And there's one that comes through this asteroid belt every 200 to 300 years or so to feed, and they were going to have me place that here on the asteroid and detonate it when it came to feed. And it's the last of its kind, I think, so I felt really bad about it, but I obviously...
You came here to destroy the asteroid.
No, Adric says. The bomb doesn't destroy asteroids. It doesn't destroy anything inorganic. Just wanted to kill the beast, harvest what we could, and sell it.
Might want to disarm that.
It's not armed yet. I'm not going to carry around an armed bomb. Look, I know poaching's bad. Whatever.
You haven't impressed me with your general respect for life yet.
I didn't shoot you when I had the chance, did I?
Only because you got caught.
Only because you wanted something from us.
Well, we need to get off this rock, essentially.
And what
Who did you think we were when we landed on the asteroid?
We're poachers. If you're not also here a part of my team, then you're probably the law for all I know.
What sort of beast is this thing? What sort of creature is it?
I don't know. It's some kind of bloody great big space whale. Doctor.
Space whale?
That clicks immediately.
Yeah.
You've heard of these creatures before. You've seen one a long time ago. In your timeline, you actually never reached the 11th regeneration, so you didn't have that episode with Amy.
Oh
Yeah, so you don't have that experience. But the Doctor is very familiar with the space whales and that they are a dying species.
Yeah, last of them.
Yeah, it's a last of their kind of thing. He's like, it's supposed to be this great big bloody space whale that is a legend of some kind. I don't know.
And you were going to kill it.
Yeah,
A lonely thing of unimaginable beauty, and you were just going to destroy it.
it's not doing me any good.
For the fun of it.
It's not fun, but it does feed us.
To be
Can
fair,
I go punch him? I'm gonna go punch him.
And what were you going to say as she's
I'm saying,
striding
to be
forward?
fair, there was offers for quite a bit of money.
And as you say that, Meat Stick, you feel a sudden swaying motion as Finn's which
I
arm?
use the human hand. I'm not
Okay.
gonna kill him.
You pull a cable and like
But I'm
punch through his-
still strong.
Yeah. He basically like a punching bag. You impact. I mean, the guy's fit, but he still takes the punch to the gut.
Oh no, I punch him in the face. I want
Okay.
him out.
Okay.
Oh, that's higher than I would have aimed.
All right. Well, you deck him across the face.
Cool.
Let's go ahead and just do a straight up strength plus fighting. And this is your not 6.
So then what would
mighty.
it be? 4?
No.
5?
3.
What?
Yeah, because
That's
you have
average.
average human strength. When you're not using your cybernetic arm, you have average
But
human
my
strength.
cyber arm is only 2. So
What?
I'm a 4 strength.
Oh, you're a 4 strength.
Yeah.
Okay.
I work out, man.
you
I'm
are-
stronger than
Right
I don't
on.
want to be completely weak and super mass.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can't get the
I still have to
asymmetry.
hold guns with my other hand.
That's true, but a 4 strength is like you would be in the WWE.
Oh, you got comes on both sides.
All right,
my
cool.
I have
Which
4
guy?
strength.
He's
as
not.
well.
He can't dodge this.
Yeah.
You're gonna punch him in
She
the
was
head.
a pirate.
11.
You need strength on boats.
Yeah, I had to pull ropes and
Yeah,
run
okay,
decks
so
and
here's the
pull
thing.
cannons and balls.
Worked 10 times as hard to be mistaken for a dude by a bunch of jerks.
yeah, that too.
Here's the thing. He can't dodge.
Yeah,
When you swung for the head and you hit,
yeah.
you knock him out cold.
That's what I wanted.
Bam! His head goes limp.
Oh, Finn.
I really wanted him to stop talking.
Oh, Finn.
job.
Oh no, that was terrible.
Right, which one of you would like to continue telling us
Look
what?
back and wink at you.
At that point, you see Zeeps is like, oh, thank you. But he was right. There is a timetable. This thing is going to come through here, and it feeds. I don't know much about it.
Well, that's the timetable, right.
Well, I think we'd want to take care of our business before it gets here.
I don't quite like the idea of it eating a rift in space-time. That doesn't seem like it would work out well.
Just from your knowledge of science, both Time Lords, you both would know that that would kill anything that came into contact with it. That would be like trying to swallow a black hole. Would not be good.
Yeah.
The whale and possibly the universe might not survive if we let this happen.
So it's not here yet.
No.
Which
And
means
at that
when
point,
is
Denise-
killing the people?
Denise,
Quite so.
can you trigger ye old creepy noise that I had
That's
sent you?
completely ominous.
The one that I sent.
This wind is very ominous.
Yes,
I know, I feel like
ominous
we're in a
wind
Breaking
sound.
Bad.
Oh, that
Right
was
now, and it's
creepy.
just a-
Someone has a cell phone.
I don't have that cool sound table that Matt has during crit roll. I need one of those. These things are awesome.
We'll get you one.
Yes. So at about the same moment, you say, well, it's not here. And at that point, the entire facility around you guys, you see dust come off the sides of the wall as you hear this thunder suddenly. It's like a distant rumble. But it almost sounds like a deep hum. Like a... It sounds like you hear these clicking sounds. And then, yeah. Just this...
Is it here?
How long do we
Can
have?
you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Does it sound like
Use-
what I heard earlier?
No.
Oh, so it's different than what I heard earlier.
No.
I don't think a space whale could fit in this room.
It literally, like it's loud enough that it's impossible to determine where it's coming from or how far away it is. But the best way to describe it is the bass and the power of the sound that must be behind this that's actually letting it travel through space where sound is muted so much that you can't ever perceive it. Kind of hints the size of the creature that might be moving towards this asteroid. But it's distant enough where you can tell that it's not here, but it's almost like it triggers something like, well, it's not here, and then...
Me and my big mouth.
We should.
Zeke,
By the
how long have
way,
we got?
fun fact for the audience at home, this is actual blue whale song. Which will rattle your bones if you were ever in the ocean and heard it, because it is at an incredible frequency. So.
But it's terrifically beautiful, so I think we're all struck by that.
Yeah, so you hear it's in the darkness of the mind. It's an omniscient sound. It's
Yeah, and I think down there it's less beautiful and more creepy as hell.
Yeah,
It's in the darkness.
Because it's essentially the entire
Yeah.
mind is vibrating. Like.
Okay. We don't have much.
You see all of the crew reacting. Ava goes, "We don't have long, so whatever you're gonna do, maybe do it."
Do it
But two things. We need to figure out how long exactly we've got and what exactly, good call, Roko, happened to these people.
Master Doctor, I would also mention apparently there is something else living within this mine.
Yes, there does seem to be.
Amy, don't forget, you were about to activate a holographic projection.
Ah.
The video, the recording.
Yeah.
Before all this shit went down.
Yeah.
Hit the guns. Hit play.
Let's just see if we can find out what's happened. Shall we?
And as you press that, off to the side while all of this is happening, Jody, as they're pressing this button, Lisa, you hear this little like communicate in your ear, and you hear a very familiar voice go, "I need an update."
At the first location.
Do we hear that?
Yeah, right?
No, because this is actually being communicated mentally.
Yep, good call.
Do we hear
Mine.
that? Do we hear that? Because psychic.
No, because it's not psychic.
Oh my god, I don't like this.
Okay, so Lisa, you hear you hear a quick reply of the beeping noise again from the implant, and you hear, "What level of danger are you in now, and do you recommend retrieval?"
Not quite yet. We haven't accomplished what we're here for. There is a giant space whale headed this way, though.
Activate again with the danger becomes too high,
All right.
and then you cuts off. The hologram appears in front of you. By the way, again, an impressive feat of strength. Meatstick has been holding the unconscious form with rock steady.
really
There is no
hard.
trembling at all. Holding an unconscious man who's probably about 220 pounds, just holding him.
That's incredible.
Slumped.
Nice.
It's all right.
He's
You
220
can
pounds.
put him down.
Crumples to the ground and needs
Gently.
to
Yeah.
My apologies, Master Doctor.
No apology needed.
Oh, how much fun you could have, Darren, if you were in battle with Meatstick, if the two of you were side by side. You could shoot them, and as they doubled over in pain, he could crumple them into a nice, orderly ball.
Oh boy.
Let's do that now.
Just turn on everybody. Comes up. It's an older man saying, "Well, they came back today, except for this time they weren't interested in talking. Looks like they've given up on negotiations, but we have weapons here, so I'm not too worried. Shift starts in about half an hour. Alone here in the console room. I'm not worried. If this was going to be an issue, they'd send, reinforcements or something. Tribal people. They're all, oh, this is my god, that is my god. Whatever. Anyway, I think Lulu is taking a liking to me, though. I brought her a sandwich a few days ago, and then all of a sudden you hear behind him, and you hear a very familiar sound. He goes, no, look, we need more time. And then all of a sudden you see a spear, a metal shaft impale this hologram. And as that happens, he goes back against it. He goes, no. And you see the air, like it's escaping from his mouth and his chest cavities. He's trying to talk to this thing. you see an alien enter the projection. It looks like it has the head of a jackal, and it has metal plates like armor, like old-fashioned armor, like strapped to its body, and sort of looks like scales or some kind of ornamental biological like additions to the armor. Like it's been collected. Maybe it's a symbol of authority or something from whatever culture it comes from. It's large, probably about 9 feet, and has that sort of, I forget what they're called, but it's the kind of legs that dogs have and like a centaur has, you know, where it's kind of hooked in, and it's for running power and kicking power. And so it's bipedal, has 3 large clawed hands, and it's holding the end of the spear, and it looms over him and says very familiar words again. And the guy's like blood leaking out. You see it, and then it just looks towards the hologram, looks right at you guys as if you were there. And it says something again and smashes down on the control console. Your eyes all kind of look down at the control console. You can see where it's been smashed. Long time ago.
Is this guy one of the...
I'm going to go into the implant. Maybe slightly more dangerous than I thought.
Your sonic has started to decode the language immediately.
Yeah. Is this guy one of the 2 bodies in front of us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, bearded guy who's at one of the consoles. He's still, it looks like, just from first glance, it looks like the spear, the strike of the spear, it looks like it was incredibly efficient and quick. I mean, if it wasn't murder, it would have been a mercy kill, kind of. That's the efficiency of which he impaled this man.
Sort of spin around to Ava. There are people who live here. You lot were going to destroy all of them.
She just goes,
humanity.
you look well off. Got a ship that just appears and reappears wherever you want. What do we have to work with?
Your endless creativity, your capacity for compassion. We don't have time for this.
She from a nursery rhyme. And you hear a few of the people just start laughing.
Hey, I don't have much either, but I don't walk around taking everything I want from other people. You have to have some kind of decency in you, man.
That's like the Doctor Who moment of the game. I'm going to give you a story point, Duncan.
Aww. Cool.
Give you a story point.
All right.
You see, they kind of don't respond. They're looking at each other, and then Veeps just goes. Zeeps, rather, just says, "Yeah."
Oh, good lad.
You're all right, Zeeps. You should come with us.
He's coming.
Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Master Doctor, would you wish for me to silence and leave unconscious the rest of the team?
When you say that, Meatstick, you see Eva, that sly confidence vaporizes, and she flinches. Everyone in the group looks nervous. Clearly, they're aware of what Meatstick is capable of.
That won't be necessary. Although, if you could just call me the Doctor.
Yes, Master Doctor.
The Doctor.
No,
yes, Master Doctor.
Zeeps
not
goes,
my
no,
favorite name.
No, that's not gonna work. He's gonna call you Master Doctor.
We can work on it. And by the way, is there a name that you would prefer to Meatstick?
Meatstick was the name I was designated. It is the name that I go by.
All right. We can continue that discussion later.
Maybe try to fix everyone after we fix.
Yes. Rather a lot going on. Right. There are people who live here. They were in some kind of disagreement with the mining colony. It ended quite badly. And we've got a space whale on its way to end the universe and itself.
And we don't know if they still live here, except I guess one, perhaps.
Yeah, I want to take another, maybe a clairvoyance scan or something.
Do you have clairvoyance?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I looked for Davros.
Oh, that's right. You looked for Davros. I forgot about that.
Once more with story points.
So what are you looking for?
9 feet, 3 hands, bipedal, head of a jackal, armor strapped, biocomponents, says things in growly languages.
Okay. You did get a visual on it, so I will let you look for that. Yeah. Go ahead and make your roll.
That one is
Is it not a roll?
It's just I spend a story point.
You just spend a story point?
And I get it.
Okay. And what's your rating? It's like a certain distance.
10 kilometers.
10 kilometers? Actually enough to scan the entire asteroid. Okay.
Quite
so you, for a second, you just kind of, okay, and you close your eyes for a moment, and you feel your consciousness pull out. And at this point, Meatsick, you become aware of the other psychic presence in the room. As Rocococo, they pull away from their body to like look out into the universe. As this is happening, Eva looks over at you, Veleg, and just says, I don't suppose if this ends up satisfactory to both parties that you might want to get a drink sometime.
Yes.
All right. And she smiles.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Sontar hot.
Might I say, Sontar hot.
Tired, this is going to be unbearable now.
So as your consciousness pulls away from your body, you don't see anything at first. As you become less, you feel the tether that's you're anchored to your body. You feel the tether, kind of the line getting looser and looser as you move further and further away, and you begin to see something finally start to crystallize in front of you. And when the image finally appears, you see at the base of this asteroid, as it's spinning, you see the bottom of this mining shaft is actually just opens up into deep space. It's like the asteroid from this point down has been completely hollowed out. So when you look straight down, you see the vastness of the universe in front of you. No matter how many times you've seen it, it's still awe-inspiring. But curiously enough, there's almost like a the best way to describe it is it's sort of like a rock face that juts out from the sides of these walls, very similar to, say, the like Mountain Doom, where they're in the middle of the volcano kind of thing. So it's like this big like rocky path that stretches out into the center, and you see 12 of these creatures, 12 of them, and they're gathered around the largest tear in space-time you've ever seen. It is probably the size of a small building, and it looks like fingers have literally just ripped reality open, and you see that familiar morphic black and blue spinning cloud that almost looks like the time vortex, but it's in complete chaos. There's no tunnel, and they're all gathered around it and looking at it in awe and terror, until one of them stops and looks back at you. It doesn't take any action, but it stares at you for a moment. And it becomes aware that you're seeing it. And it lowers its weapon. And it says, and you hear it. And as it starts talking, its friends turn and they all look at you now. They all turn away and look. And one of them puts the spear down and stands upright and says something to you. And you're not really sure what language it's speaking.
Sing some opera. They like Sontaran opera.
You've never heard this language before. And then it does this.
I do that back.
Okay. And then it nods to you. And at that point, you begin to feel the vibrations of the mining complex as this whale is approaching. Whatever's outside, you feel, and they all look around and to each other and set their spears down, and they all sort of surround the tear in space-time. And you see them lock arms as they just sit down. And they all start emitting a noise. Like, you're not sure. As a xenobiologist, you're aware it's probably prayer. And as you start coming out of it, you all begin to hear the noise of the space whale, the hum vibrating as it's getting closer and closer. And that's where we have to leave off today.
No.
Yeah, we have to stop. We ran out of time. It's 2:58. So this is unique because we get to pick up this game right away. We get to play this tomorrow. Sax, it's 11 to 1. Is that our time slot? 11 to 1 tomorrow on the 20. Happy 2 years to Twitch.
Yeah.
I mean, everything. A lot of us here that run games or who work at Geek and Sundry, a lot of us were fans before we ever started working here. Like 4 years ago, I was the guy standing in line for an autograph from Felicia, and I've been fortunate enough that now I get to join all of you wonderful people in the incredible Twitch crew. 2 years, and it's all been possible because of you guys and the incredible community that's come up around this channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and we and the whale thanks you too. We will see Darren and Matt again tomorrow.
Yay. Thank you for letting us come back.
Thank you so
Really appreciate you guys. It's been so much fun.
Thank you so much, and we're gonna lose Duncan tomorrow. But there will be a surprise. So tune in tomorrow from 11 to 1 and beyond, because tomorrow's our 25-hour live stream.
Starts tonight.
Starts tonight. Yeah. So thanks so much, guys, and stay whimsical.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you, buddy.